I'll tell him, "Oh, I killed a cow out back, baby." You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, it's the last thing I do. I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything. Too late to repent. We'll pay in the blood and death. We will sanctify, purify, rejoice in the sorrow and sing. We'll reject, you cannot carry me. So tell all your friends, this is the end of everything. Too late to repent. The wicked will reap what they sow. We will sanctify, purify, rejoice in their sorrow and sing. Oh, next gen, cannot carry me. Somebody call me.
The noise that you make, or is noise the wrong word? The noise that you make does fit to this weather.
Yeah, I think so. I think noise is the perfect word.
Now, what do you want to reach with this noise? Do you want to spread aggression?
No, not really. Just want to make some sounds that maybe people might not hear the rest of the day.
What is so attractive to making this sound?
It's fun. It's like a little kid with a really big toy.
Okay, it's fun, but it's so loud.
What, are you saying you don't like it?
Yeah, well, I like it.
No, come on. Don't. He's lying to people. He's lying.
Well, no. I like some parts of it, but it's so loud all over. It's constantly loud.
I know. Can you believe it? Yeah.
By the way, I get that this is mine now.
How about $20?
Why don't you just relax a little bit? It's only $20.
Life. What have you found about most of the people that are the street performers?
Well, it's a job like anything else, and they'd probably rather be doing that than washing dishes for somebody. They're very dedicated.
Probably playing spoons rather than washing the spoons.
Well, he doesn't have to wash his spoons because he's so famous now that he has someone else do that for him.
And he's
Spoon tech.
And a man with spoons.
Yes.
And so you just saw this guy and you decided to write a song about him?
Well, he's been around for a while, and actually the song came about from well, it's a long story. Do you guys want to hear it?
Not really.
I don't
Can you sum it up real quick?
I don't want to tell it.
I said they're good. Yeah, it's European is the one thing, and then the other thing is it's like you have to take a long flight over there, and then you feel sort of stranded, and the food's different, and it's it's European.
bleak.
No, it's great. We love going to Europe. Actually, it's really cool.
You spent a lot of time at the San Diego Zoo, right?
I've only been there once. It was depressing.
You guys are winding up a European tour. How's that been working out for you?
Really awful, actually. No.
What do you look for in a bowling ball?
I look for really big holes, and we got some good-looking balls here, and
because these are quite, I guess, as balls would go.
This is a good-looking ball. Sexy. It's kind of marbly. It's silver. Silver's cool.
But it looks like the holes are too small.
So I'm going to say, screw this. It's good looking, but I don't like it.
What would you?
You can't dance to Soundgarden songs, and you're not likely to go shopping with your girlfriends while listening to Soundgarden material. So
You can dance to Soundgarden songs, but it's embarrassing.
I don't agree with you there.
Meet the new member of Soundgarden.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ben Shepherd, the new member of Soundgarden, bass player extraordinaire, tallest member of the band,
Skinny.
and the skinniest.
Do the bands kind of work together a lot and influence each other?
Well, it's all sort of a managerial type of thing, we all completely hate each other, and all these things are just arranged by like the Seattle Kingpins and cigar chomping people. They just usher us around in limousines, and we sort of perform on each other's records.
they get us together during picnics and take photos and release them around. See, they are friends.
Yeah, I don't know why they insist on this unity thing, and it's really getting tiring.
Go.
There's been a lot of talk lately, a lot of slander, a lot of talk about Eric July, Ison, and I find it terrible. There's a lot of people out there that want to hate, They criticise Ison like it's filth. Criticism is racism. And I want you to understand that. If society's taught me anything, is that as white people should be utilising our white shame, our white guilt, and supporting all black artists, no matter how mediocre they are. Sure, Eric July might just be in it for the money. He might be a bit arrogant and condescending, but he's a black artist and you've got to support him. Because without support for our black artists, what would they have? You shouldn't be criticising black artists work. It's just not on. It's not on. It's totally racist and bigoted. So I would like to say, leave Eric alone. And for all you white people out there having a go at him, try utilising some of your white guilt. Every black artist deserves to be supported. And Eric's a conservative. There's not many of them. It's a sad state of affairs. It really hits me in the heart. I mean, sure, Eric July might use a lot of CGI and graphics and computer-generated art, but that's not the point. He does it anyway, and he's doing it on his own. He's a strong, independent black man, and he's making money. And you lot can't do anything but hate on him. How sad and pathetic you must be. I'm not naming any names, but you know who you are. You know all the ones that have been mean to Eric. You've been mean to him. Mean. And he's not on. He's not on. He's the best thing since Malcolm X.
I told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my scheme of colleagues at level M. We have the soldier who cannot stop talking, a magician with money issues, and a vampire with a checkered past. But there are other teammates she's yet to meet. One in particular might be a little bit shocking for her. I do hope she's not allergic. Back it today, won't you? Like right now.
Got a call from an old friend, we used to be real close. Said he couldn't go on the American way. He closed the shop, sold a house, bought a ticket to the West Coast. Now he gives them a stand-up routine in LA. I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. I never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time. They will tell you you can't sleep alone in a strange place. Then they'll tell you you can't sleep with somebody else. Ah, but sooner or later you sleep in your own space. Either way, it's okay, you end up with yourself. I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. I never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone, yeah.
Keep it to yourself, it's my life. Keep it to yourself, it's my life. Keep it to yourself, it's my life.
Ooh, yeah.
Keep it to yourself, it's my life.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, someone. 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 Somewhere, somehow, someone.
I almost started talking without unmuting myself. Hail, everybody. Hail, Comicsgate, particularly. This is mostly a Comicsgate stream anyway, so everybody else can go fuck themselves. I'm just kidding. If you're not Comicsgate, you know, everybody's wrong once in their life. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Comicsgate Commandos number 15. Let me introduce my co-host here, Colonel Carbon Hart. What's up, Carbon? How you doing today? That bad, huh? Well, we all have days like that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's see who we got here. We got Halder, 6480. Halder, can I just call you Halder? I think I said that last time. Just let me know if just Halder's okay. Heil, he says. I mean, hail. What's up, man? We've got Survive Infinity 0088. What's up, dude? Hail. How you doing, man? CG for the win, always. We got Mr. Self-Destruct. We do fight for love. We fight for the love of comic books and the love of good art. That's right. That's why we're here today. Let's we're gonna bring Carbon Heart back in. I've decided I'm gonna let him back in. So hopefully this time he'll behave himself. What's up, Carbon?
I'm here, but looks like I'm experiencing some difficulty. Give me a minute, General. I will be back in a moment.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll see you in a bit. We also have Dr. Ben coming on, ladies and gentlemen. I've instructed him to be in full detractor mode. Mr. Self-Destruct, is it my audio video out of sync, or is it Carbon Heart? Let me know. Because once Carbon comes back on, then I'll drop out and jump back in, and that should solve the problem. It did it last time. I just continue to have internet problems. I've plugged myself in with the Ethernet cable, and thank you, Survive Infinity. I appreciate it, dude, very much so. We do this show every Saturday night at this time, and then also I'll put out from time to time. I'll put out really a plethora of different things like music. I did a lot of HeroClix videos in my early YouTubing days, which are super embarrassing, but also some of them are actually kind of cool. And I also do some voiceover videos for old, well, not technically speaking, they're not actually 60s Fantastic Four comic books, but I do, voiceovers for comic books. And actually, I was thinking about doing voiceovers for pages out of Comicsgate comic books. What do you guys think about that? If I were to do some voices for that, those of you who've heard my voices before. Mr. Self-Destruct says, yours by 1 to 2 seconds. I saw a stream the other night was severely out of sync. Seems common. You saying you saw a different stream that wasn't mine that was severely out of sync. It is. I found that Saturday nights are really bad for internet traffic. But I did notice that there was one time where I was horribly out of sync, and I jumped out of my own stream and jumped back in while somebody held down the fort for me. Held down the fort. It's a military pun. And I was doing fine after that. So I think that's what we'll do in a second here. Rip Comic Story. Yeah, hold on. We'll get to that. Hold on 1 second here. Carbon, you're back. Apparently not. Yeah, as I suspected, ladies and gentlemen, 3 weeks ago when we said fuck the CIA and the ATF and the FBI, They got to Carbon. They got him. It's horrible. It's horrible. They're going after big names. Carbon Heart himself.
They couldn't stop me.
They couldn't stop you.
I'm back.
Here, keep talking. I want to hear how you sound. Keep talking.
Okay, this is testing. 1, 2, 3. How's my volume?
You sound good. You sound good. Am I too loud to you?
No, your volume's good. Just have that lag again, unfortunately, where like about 1 second the video is off.
Okay, so then I'm gonna hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring, ladies and gentlemen, we have our resident medic, Dr. Ben. What's up, Dr. Ben?
Gentlemen, it's been an exciting week. A lot of bodies. This week.
Sure enough.
Reporting from the field.
Jump out real quick, folks. I'm gonna jump out, and you guys hold down the fort for just a second and see if this fixes the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes when you gotta like leave and then reconnect, that kind of makes things better.
Yeah.
For the
basically turn it off and turn it back on again.
All right. How does it sound now?
Yeah, you're in sync.
Okay, good. If I get out of sync again, let me know. I'll jump out and jump back in. I think that's a consistent problem we have to deal with on Saturdays, which is actually one of the things I wanted to talk to the chat and to you guys about, since we're all here in force now. It's another military pun, folks. So let's go ahead and pull the trigger on tonight's episode. Okay. All is well. Excellent. Good. The justice of it pleases. That's Shakespeare for those of you who don't know. All right. So look, we can start with crazy, stupid stuff. We can start. You know what? Let's just start with Let's just Eric July. All right. We all know that's it's a problem. At this point, the dude's been caught in so many lies, and he's been caught in so many. He said one thing and then tries to. I love this phrase, the hibbity jibbity squirrel words thing. Love that phrase. Because that's what it is. I had called it before that lawyer speak, but even it's not even really lawyer speak, because it went on Nick Rekieta's channel, and Nick Rekieta out-lawyered him and made him look like a fool, and that was the beginning of the end, at least from my opinion of Eric July. But we got Grim Jim 666 says, "Sup, Commandos? What's up, Grim Jim? How you doing, man? What's up? You kind of look like you kind of look like Gerard Way. You know what I'm talking about? You should know who I'm talking about. The Squid. Hello, the Squid. He says Eric July is trying to redefine the term pull up, Lamau. He 100% is. We all fucking know what it means when you say to somebody pull up. We all fucking know, even without looking onto Urban Dictionary to find out what that particular Ebonics slang means. We all know exactly what that means. Everybody knows.
Yeah. He uses a tactic that the left does, which is trying to redefine terms that he's used, and then it ended up biting him in the ass. So then he tries to like redefine it to backtrack what he's done and rewrite history. Yeah, he's very devious. He's proven that.
Yeah. Real quick before we get into the meat of things too, I would like to say, Dr. Ben and Carbon Heart, I've noticed I go back and I listen to my streams when I'm done with them, because I'm a consummate performer. And I like to see, to be clear with the audience, I'm not performing right now when I'm speaking to you. All I am is drinking and talking. But at the same time, I appreciate a good performance. And that's what you guys are here, watching this channel ostensibly to get a good, an enjoyable experience.
Good show.
So if either of you two guys notice, or if the chat notices that I am like talking over people and talking too much, let me know, because I do have a bad habit of that. And I'm not ashamed from admitting my own faults. So, Grim Jim says, "I'm weird looking. I know. I enjoy it." I didn't say you were weird. I just said you look like Gerard Way. I like Gerard Way. He's a very, very talented individual.
We like weird looking guys.
The lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Super talented. My Chemical Romance is one of my favorite bands of all time. Handsome lad, Grim. Yeah, that's right. Well, calm down there, Mr. Self-Destruct. We all, we know you're looking for, somebody, but
yeah, this isn't the hookup night. Yeah.
Right. Here, let me completely block out Dr. Ben with Mr. Self-Destruct.
Wow. What on earth is that?
Were you trying to put emojis down?
Yeah,
Emojis.
apparently they didn't translate. We got them in Morse code.
That's how they. Some of the yeah. Don't put the
Wow.
codes on the stream. I'll give away our location.
Yeah, right. He's giving away our latitude and longitude. Grim Jim says, "Here for a chill and a bants." Is that British slang? I don't know what a bants means. Anybody here know what that means?
I'm guessing banter, but it could be some newfangled, useful term that I'm not familiar with. Who knows?
The squid says, "I see emotes on my end. Interesting." So that when we pop it up on the screen, it just looks like the AI had a heart attack. Interesting. He also says, "Your karaoke vids are great. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. I just do them for fun. I know that, like, I'm a purist musician, so I know that my version of the song, my voice isn't going to be, what everybody loves. Like, some people are not going to like it. But there's certain songs that I just really love, and I can't help but sing. I'd rather sing. Anybody know what that's from? I didn't do it very well. But father, I don't want to get married. I'd rather sing. Nope, not that, not here. Please tell me what you know that, folks. Lol, happy June. Yeah. It's my birth month in June, and all my coworkers, because I've not been on a date in a long time, and they all think that I'm gay, or they make fun of me for that anyway. And I know, right? People make fun of people for being gay. It's crazy. It's like we live in the early 2000s. But
just tell them that you've been getting hookers instead.
That's what I should tell them. I should tell them.
Yeah, just say you don't have time for these hoes.
Yeah.
So you rather spend the money on some fresh ones every couple of weeks.
Heroin is so much better than women, right? Am I right?
Times think it's more cost effective to just get the escorts.
Yeah, if you know where to look.
Oh yeah. He says, "I see him." He sees them too. He sees the emojis. I see the emotes on my end. General Piggy's here. Where? I didn't even see him. Oh, there he is. Hail, General Piggy. How you doing, man?
Oh yeah.
You're a goddamn legend. General Piggy, you're a legend in the eyes of the soldiers on the battlefield. Anybody know what that's from? Nobody's gonna know what that's from. Banter. Hey, sorry. On a fuck them talking island boys. What the fuck?
Do we have one of the Island Boys with us tonight? Is that what that is Grim Jim one of the?
I am very happy that the Island Boys have vanished from the public sphere, and I imagine it has something to do with the last remnants of their presence. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Was that they were posting videos of them kissing each other.
Oh
now,
my God.
These are actual brothers, biological brothers, twins. And yes, it's true. It was posted on Twitter. It was verified. And I think that was the nail in the coffin. I think that was a bridge too far for most people.
And yet, that's a great segue. God damn, Colonel Carbon. Great segue. And yet, nobody gives a fuck that the Saska sisters, all these conservative people who are buying Eric July's book, because you know that liberals are not buying this book. They hate him too, right? Yeah. Well, they hate him. So you know that it's not liberals buying it. So it's these conservatives who want to support this guy. And yet the Saska sisters sucking each other's face and engaging in gore porn, satanic gore porn, and very obviously being thinly veiled Satanists. I mean, they're the most thinly veiled Satanists on the face of the planet. That doesn't seem to bother these people. We have Nicholas McHugh say, "Hail, MSD, General Grim." Hail, 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 Nicholas. How you doing, man?
So McHugh.
Nicholas McHugh's, I saw him posting on Twitter too. He's been fucking savage. I love it.
Yeah.
He says, Survive Infinity says, "Thanks to the Commandos for staying true to CG. Ever since generic July, some CGers have shown their true colors. So weird." Very true. Very true. And to be clear, like, being true to CG doesn't mean that, like, we're all on the same side as and agree with excuse me, everything that like EVS or John Malin or Shane Davis says. That's not exactly what that means. It just so happens that those three individuals are in this for one, creative freedom. So that's one thing. And, you know, nobody's arguing that Eric July has the creative freedom to do what he wants. But we're also in it for superb art. That's why we're here. We're here to make beautiful. We're here to take the comic book medium, which is a distinctly American art form, and we're here to make that to make it great again. There, some people will like that. If Paul Ravoche is watching, he will not like that. But you know,
Paul Ravoche is the American, isn't he?
No, he's Canadian. I'm just saying.
He said he had dual citizenship. He's like a spy.
Oh, does he? I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, he said he was like born in like Arizona or something, but he does live in Canada now.
Why the fuck would you choose to live in Canada? Like, I know that United States is not as great as it used to be, especially right now, but why the fuck would you live in Canada when you
Canada, I can understand it because Canada is kind of like the land of Nod, where you can go and pretend that problems don't exist, you know, because you know you no longer have a say in anything. You're basically like a docile, you know, creature given all these rights, you know, free health care and we'll take care of you. And then you become emasculated. No offense, Paul. Not directly about Paul.
No.
But,
and, yeah.
That kind of is what happens. If you
he's
notice,
not emasculated at all.
Canadians kind of they take a back seat, they become docile. They have no choice but to be neutral and complacent because they don't have the capability to become fiery because they're not in the game. If you're in the game, you know, you have a piece of the action, as they say, you're gonna have more of a reaction.
I also think the ability, well, I think a lot of these, I look at pretty much every other country besides America as kind of not in the game. Because what it comes down to is this, like, your politicians don't give a fuck what you think. They don't give a goddamn what you think. And it's because there's nothing you can do to them. There's nothing you can do to them. You can't pass laws to get them out of office because they control which laws are passed. You can't take up arms against them because, oh, they took all your arms. And like there's literally nothing they don't fear the people. Every politician should fear the wrath of the people, not necessarily always fear the people, because if you're a politician who's actually out there to help your constituency, then you should have nothing to fear. You're being upfront, you're being honest, you're trying to help people, you can show people you're trying to help them. There should be nothing to fear there. But this is why people take guns away, because they know that once they take them away, they can do whatever the fuck they want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, other than there's let's just put it that way. There's nothing you can do about it. William Schaefer. Hello, William Schaefer. He says Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Exactly. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody with some culture here. Doink. So I'm gonna go through these here. So the Island Boys became Super Smash Bros. Oh my god.
What does that mean? Are they smashing each other?
I think that was the implication, Dr. Ben.
Oh, not like they went pro with.
That was a good one. Mr. Self-Destruct says regurgitated sacrifice is blood worship, incest, mutilation, twins. Dude, it's horrible. And I could only stomach on average about, like, I watched of the whole thing, I watched maybe a minute and a half, and it was sometimes I like to push myself and see how much I can take of a particular thing that I don't like. And honestly, I got farther listening or, you know, watching Regurgitated than I did listening to Katy Perry, but there's still.
Is that one of their movies?
That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Regurgitated?
Yes, Regurgitated is one of their porn films. It's not I wouldn't even consider it a film. What do you call those things? I mean, when it's
more like smut or snuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty much borderline. It's between smut and snuff. Yeah, so before we go off on many tangents, which we're capable of doing.
Yes.
You want to delve
Always.
deeper onto this one? Let's anchor on this one. The Saska sisters and the Eric July corruption.
Yes.
Because
So
there's
here, let me
definitely
see
a
what the
lot.
chat says about this subject, and then we can go from there. Remember when the media smeared the Olsen twins for that crap? And so he says exactly. We'll talk about that later. It's not even the Saska's horror porn jazz. It's the left-leaning political, we're going to feminize spaces attitude the Saskas have. What is the value there to any ripetard? Exactly. Mr. Self-Destruct responds by saying the value is boobs. Gotta be honest, find that hard to believe because there's not a lot going on there. Okay, so then the rest is about those what's it, counter-revolutionary things I said. Anyway, so go ahead, Carbon Heart.
Yeah, well, kind of now that we've had some time to see that Eric July is all in on the Saskas and hiring activists and feminists and doesn't care or denies whether or not they were demonic.
So here, I just gotta move my.
You hiding from
get your shit together,
what I'm about to say here, Ben? No, nothing too controversial. I mean, I think it's proving at the end of the day that they don't truly have the principles that they originally said they did, Eric July and his fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I attribute that to them being libertarian. No offense if anyone in the chat is libertarian, or I know you guys aren't, Dr. Ben and Pat, but it's kind of a on the fence position to have, especially in the case of the fact that libertarians have this mentality where it's like, hey, you want to self-mutilate, by all means, you're free to do so. I'm not going to state my opinion on it, or they don't even feel like there's any detriment to the moral fabric of the country if these things happen, So I think that's the core.
And I think that's the downfall of libertarianism in that sense, is that libertarianism to a point I think is good, but there gets to a point where it's like, oh, you can do whatever you want, as long as you're not quote unquote hurting me. But I think a lot of things that people do you don't see that it hurts other people, but it does. Go ahead, Dr. Ben.
I was gonna say, like, libertarians, it's been around for a while, right? Like at least 20 years. I don't think much longer than that, but as a party that puts forth like a presidential candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's the same as the Green Party. You know what I'm saying? They never get more than 3%, maybe 4% of the vote. At the they only come out for presidential elections. I mean, they're there for other stuff, but not really.
Right.
So I mean, I think a lot of their purpose is to serve as sort of like a buffer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get so dissatisfied with the Republican Party, you're like, I'm not going to vote for Republicans anymore because Bob Dole's a adulterer or whatever. I don't think that was what his issue was, but you know what I'm saying? Rather than immediately the only other option is to go and vote for the other side. Well, here's these guys. They have a lot of the same ideas as us, but they're not as stuck up as the GOP. So go vote for them, and it keeps kind of like pens people in. The same with the Green Party. You know what I mean? Like, it's been shown a number of different places that Republicans fund Green Party candidates because they know, like, every vote that goes to a Green Party person wasn't going to go to a Republican.
It's taken away from a Democrat. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think the libertarians serve a similar purpose. And entertainment, they are goofballs.
Would you say like an outlet for the people who are kind of disenfranchised with the system? It's like an outlet for them to let their rage or whatever out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like their frustration.
That's exactly it. Rather than being like, you're so pissed about whoever, Romney or Trump. Trump is a fantastic one because how many never Trumpers were there that were like, I'll never vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, you're right, Ben.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know if they necessarily all went and voted for whoever the libertarian was, or like in 2016 there was that what was his name, Evan Mc, the guy everyone called him like Egghead because he was just like a CIA like stewed like plant or whatever. Like it was. That's what I'm saying. A lot of it, I think, is just for that matter of like absorbing dissatisfied voters, giving them somewhere where that rather than just being like, well, you know what, I am going to go vote for Joe Biden because fuck you, like absorb some of those people. It's a complex game,
Grim Jim says traditional imperialist here. Let's reform the Anglo Empire.
I like it.
I'm a monarchist of sorts, but not the Anglo monarchy. I wouldn't say that.
Well, some would say that it still exists.
Well, it does.
Some would say that there's, I mean, not in the sense that it's an actual full empire, but
it is.
There are definitely influences that are connected, strong influences that are connected, that have a loyalty to the Anglosphere, and it's not necessarily a bad thing,
Well, yes and no. I would say that at least So look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Disagreement, but it's respectful. I would say that the British Empire looks like it lost a lot of power over the past 200, 300 years. It looks that way to the outside observer. But when you look at the who pulls the strings of money and where those strings lead back to, the British Empire really is in a great spot right now. I mean, I got a subscription to Johnny Scab on his YouTube channel, which you all should do. Mr. Self-Destruct, if you could post Johnny Scab's channel in the chat there so people can go take a look at it. And when I did, it told me that my $5 was like £3. And I was like, what the fuck? £3? Like my dollar is worth less than the pound? And that is the case. And I think that's going to continue to get even worse as we go along here. Even though Great Britain, as everybody knows, is not even close to being as good of a country as America, as everybody knows, even the British people. But they live in denial. Like Peter Gilmore, like Johnny Scab, but it's okay. Everybody's, like I said in the beginning of the stream, everybody's allowed to be wrong every once in a while. You know what I mean? But let's get back to the topic at hand, which is Eric, as Mange says, Eric July. The Squid says, I'd give the Piss Sisters the benefit of the doubt if they didn't completely screw up ice powers. They got it half right, and then have the ice powers do stuff that doesn't match what ice does. Mr. Squid, please let me. I didn't read the book because I didn't buy it, so please let me know what exactly did the ice do that ice does not do. Nicholas McHugh says, I've heard rumors the Saskas are legit dominatrixes, as in together. I would not even be surprised in the slightest.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Right.
Yeah.
I would volunteer myself to like go investigate that.
Son
if
of
we
a
could get
bitch.
get us
Depends
like
on
a fund or
the terms
something.
of the contract.
Go undercover. I'll come back. I'll find out.
Let us know about that, Ben.
If you do that, pay them enough money so that they can get actually like decent fake eyebrows, please. Because these fake eyebrows they've got going on right now, they're not on fleek, as the children say. Not on fleek at all.
Well, one of them is a lot more sinister looking than the other.
Oh, yeah.
Are they actually twins?
They play the good Satanist, bad Satanist thing.
They're a different age. They're of a different age. I don't know the details. But I think Sylvia is the one who appears friendlier. She has like a softer looking face. Her smile looks more genuine. It looks actually joyful. Because the other one, Jen, let's say, when she smiles, her eyebrows do this sinister contortion.
Yeah.
She looks like an evil character out of an 80s action movie. With actually they were pretty hot, some of these 80s chicks. But that kind of sinister you know, femme fatale.
Yeah.
Except she's not hot. And her
Right.
teeth are all jagged. But yeah, you know, Eric July, I don't know if you've been seeing his tweets lately.
Oh my god,
That-
dude. That's
he's
why.
on an-
That's why. Go ahead. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I'm not bringing anybody on tonight. Like this fucking shit. Because you guys know, you guys know me. You've talked to me. Like, I have my own religious background, but this whole like pray up shit, like it.
Yeah.
The thing
Eric.
I hate the most is when Christians give a bad name to Christians by acting like the way he's acting. Like it literally is insulting. And it makes me so mad when Christians use God like that to like make a fucking point. Exactly, to sell shit.
Yeah.
Did he not read? I assume he's a Protestant. So so I assume that you know your Bible backwards and forwards like most good Protestants do. Did you not read the part where Jesus Christ literally told you that when you do good things to do it in secret because your Father in heaven sees it? And if you do it in public, then everybody else sees it and you get your reward on earth. So now he's been constantly prayers up, praying for you. God bless you. Like, do you think that your Father in heaven is going to bless you for that shit? Do you honestly think that? You're put it on Twitter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting. Go ahead, talk.
He's using it, like you said, he's using it as a shield now. It's this new kind of. He thinks he's being slick. Look, I don't care how religious he is. He could be a hardcore Christian or he could be a fake Christian. Does not matter to me. But what he's doing on Twitter, by now, anytime anyone is sharing, like the nonsense that's happening with Riley and Mint Salad, and like anytime a detractor is spurging out and looking bad now, he's going, peace be with you. Like he's some holy man. Eric, nobody's buying it, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking buying it.
You were the same fucker who not even a year and a half ago was monetizing your detractors, which I loved.
Yeah,
and
dude.
a lot of people did because you made fools of people who were fools, and it was cool because you were in the right. But now,
You can't go 1 week, literally one week ago, you know, talking about fat fucks. Like, you know, he's making fun of people, calling people fat, saying wash your ass.
Yep.
Basically insulting everybody, having fun. Also saying he's going to air people out, or that, you know, he's got the balls to beat the shit out of somebody and all that. Then next week, peace be with you, my holy brother.
Right. May God
brother in
bless
Christ.
you and yours. Yeah, my brother.
My prayers are with you. Peace be.
Oh my gosh, the sheer hypocrisy of it. And you know what it does? It reminds me. I need to get to the chat here because the chat they're talking and I don't want to ignore them. But I want to make a point real quick. That this whole like kind of like what I consider to be distinctly fake Christian sentiments, it is the same way that the Saska sisters act when they were saved, when they started talking about how they're religious now. Notice, by the way, and please, chat or anybody here, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I have not once seen the Saska sisters declare their fealty to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the King of the universe. Not once have I seen them say, Jesus Christ is Lord. Not once. They say God, God is great or whatever. Okay. Well, God goes by many names like Baphomet and Azazel and Lucifer. So which God are you talking about?
This is
sorry,
something
guys.
that
So
I've
mad.
been over the past couple of years, and some other people have probably seen this. There have been these online creeps using Christianity as a cure-all for their past behavior, like former Instagram models and OnlyFans, whatever you want to call them. Suddenly, their channel goes from being fathery to being like, okay, let me. I'm looking for a virgin husband, even though I've slept with 200 men. I'm now looking for a pure-hearted Christian man to marry me. And they're using it as a cure-all, a cover-all.
Now, at the same time, I believe that you can be forgiven if you ask for forgiveness, especially even if you've done horrible things. But it just becomes really weird when you start posting about it all on social media and making it a big deal in front of everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if I was a porn star, what I would do is I would essentially delete obviously a lot of porn stars don't have the rights to their own work, so they can't get it deleted. But at the same time, like, I would essentially spend the rest of my life doing what I could to destroy the very thing that I was doing that I hated. But you don't see these people do that. And you also don't see them kind of like this whole like coming out loud as a Christian on social media. It reeks of fakeness because like everything on social media is fake. Like, why do you like the only fucking reason that I'm on Twitter is so that I can talk to you guys and I can talk to Comicsgate. And so that, because at the time I didn't have my book out yet, but I was going to promote my book, and that's what I was doing. So let's be honest, like I was on social media to promote my book, essentially. I'm here now doing this stuff, but like that's what it is. Like, so this whole, like, the people go on there for reasons that are not self-serving is kind of laughable. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
Ben, go ahead.
You get a lot of news on Twitter and stuff. I mean, that is
Fair point.
That is apparently what can sway elections, is the attitude on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok or whatever.
That's fair enough. No, that's fair enough.
Well, yeah, I think there's two ways to use it. I think basically, one way is just to have fun. You know, you're going on there, you're looking at posts. Every now and then you might post something and you're just entertaining yourself, or you're, like Pat is saying, you're promoting something, you're looking to build your social network, or sell a product, and in some cases, or sell your body, which, you know, it's just people want to make money at the end of the day, so it makes sense. But going back to the this kind of fake, like, holier than thou nonsense, you know, I truly believe that Eric, after all the things I've watched regarding Riley, as much of a fool Riley is, let me just start out by saying I know he's being a troll. He's trying to have fun, and I genuinely think he's just trying to entertain people. I think his channel is a put on. I do truly believe that he's just having fun, and he wants to get viewers. But I think Eric did set him up to get him arrested, because now it's been confirmed that he did file a police report from the initial visit where Riley went to the warehouse. And that's what ultimately caused his second appearance, his newest appearance, to result in an arrest, because there was a connection there. And so that's you know, he succeeded in getting rid of him, you know. But it does beg the question, because some people online on different channels, they've been raising the question. It's like, what does this mean? Now, does this mean nobody can show up to events and kind of criticize you? Like, what's the limit? You know, because and some people had a good point. Alex Stein, he pretty much does do the same thing, and it doesn't matter that he's doing it criticizing political rallies. He's still being a troll. He's doing it for entertainment and to gain views. He's showing up.
He's criticizing hypocrisy and lies. That's all.
Yeah, so I honestly would say that Riley did the same thing. That Alex Stein does. The difference is that Eric, once again, can never be criticized.
Yeah.
Anything you say to him or about him will be turned around. Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say, you know, I don't want to. I never like to feel like we're ganging up on somebody, so, and especially with Eric, you know, if this is a true, you know, him professing his faith in Christ, hopefully, you know, I don't want to like discourage him from that, you know, and I don't think it's right to like measure people or be like, you know, you have to do this to prove that, you know, you really are serving Jesus. But, you know, just with everything going on, if he were to forgive Riley, drop all the charges, you know, that would show that truly he is a Christian. Riley is a Christian, I believe. If not, it doesn't matter, because Jesus said to love those persecuting you. And Riley is persecuting Eric. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Eric, if he were to do that, think of what a testimony that would provide.
Yeah.
That could help Mint and Riley, you know, the both of them, to see someone, you know, show forgiveness and the same mercy that we're all shown. So, I mean, that's what I would call on Eric to do. You know,
that's a fantastic point, Dr. Ben. Fantastic point. And so somebody else said, like, how different would it have been, instead of arresting him, if Eric had walked out in full view of all of his fans, Eric's fans, shook his hand and said, let's bury the hatchet, you know, let's talk about this.
Exactly.
But that would require, ladies and gentlemen, a little thing that we call humility. Mr. Grim Jim says, no, we're poor now, we're nobody, sun doesn't even shine here. He's talking about Britain. Bro, X-Neon showing our strings A. Yeah, you're right, I could get killed for that. Lesser people, more like higher people have been killed for such things. Mr. Self-Destruct, Jen is the one with the crazy eyebrows and the evil grin, the kind of chick who will cut your pee-pee off and toss it out of a moving vehicle. For those that are listening at home, pee-pee stands for penis. No love is lost, says Mr. Self-Destruct. Sorry, I just wanted to make a joke. It's a Texas thing, like, bless your heart, you poor idiot. What's a Texas thing? Like when you say God
like,
bless you? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's what we're. Yeah, I remember seeing him putting that up there. That's
well,
in regards to Eric saying all that.
Eric July has spoken a certain way for fucking 4 years while I listened to him and while I was what you would consider a ripetard, and he never once said that to any of his detractors before. So this whole thing is a fucking charade, as they say in French. What's with all the God stuff in the YouTube all of a sudden? I've noticed this increasing on YouTube around nerd shit. Lol, what the fuck? Like, power to your faith, but it seems daft. Fair enough. I think what's happening, Grim Jim, is that certain people like me, have seen the world around them start to collapse, and we think, and I think we're right in thinking this, that it's due to a lack of faith in the eternal creator. And I think that's why we talk about it a lot, because we're done at this point. We're done. Like, I spent 12 years around my friends who are atheists and agnostics, just holding my tongue and being quiet. And then COVID happened. And they all fucking threw me to the wolves because I wouldn't bend the knee and do what I was told. And so at that point, I became very like, oh, I see. So my opinions and everything that I've respectfully tried to, you know, I've never pushed God on you. I've never pushed anything like that on you. All those things doesn't fucking matter at all to you. And you look at me as a piece of trash because I won't do exactly what you want me to do. In my opinion, Grim Jim, for me, the reason I do it is because I recognize now that there are actually, like, everything is a religion. There is either the religion of the state or there is the religion of whatever religion you're a part of, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. But every single ideology is a religion. It's what you believe at your core about what reality is. We talked about this on Comicsgate Commandos 13, 14. So and I'm sorry if that bothers you, Grim Jim. Like, even on this channel, I still try to, like, not hammer it over people's heads, but I am done, like, hiding my true colors. I'm done, mincing my words for people who would hate me either way. So that's where I stand. I don't know how you guys feel about that. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Well, also on top of that, I mean, you're completely right. It's a reaction essentially to all of the filth that has been growing over the past few years. I mean, we're at the point now where there aren't many people brave enough to stand up and say, hey, you should not transition to the opposite gender. And you shouldn't make snuff films, and you shouldn't be naked in the streets having a gay pride parade. Because if you keep your mouth shut and act like anything goes, like, once again, the libertarian kind of thing, which is like, hey, you want to shoot up heroin? Not my problem. Well, it could eventually become your problem, because take a look at the streets of Philadelphia or the streets of San Francisco. This idea that, like, hey, Be self-destructive on your own time. It's not my problem. It's all of our problem together. It really is. And so the same thing with the trans movement and I would call it general degeneracy. If you don't put a stop to it, it's going to keep growing. And the truth is, Christianity has been the strongest force towards repelling that throughout history, actually. And so that's why it's been growing.
Islam has gotta be a pretty strong second place on being against the sexual degeneracy.
Well,
they're well known for rooftop parties. For
they're well known for killing homosexuals, but Islam has their own brand of sexual degeneracy. Like,
well,
yeah,
right. But I mean, everyone's a sinner in some way, definitely. But I'm just saying, they have.
They certainly have come out strong against that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. They're definitely not fans of the gays. Like, right
Well,
or wrong,
I'll commend any religion that has morality. You're right, Ben. It doesn't have to only be Christianity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we were to delve further into some of these other so-called religions, you'll find some strange behavior there. But anyway, go ahead.
Muhammad had sex with a 14-year-old. Grim Jim says, YouTube evangelists, he says, cable, they made money, not they are going to try it on YouTube. But he said later, now they are going to try it on cable. They made money. Now they're going to try it on YouTube. Well, Mr. Grim Jim, I 100% am not an evangelist in that regard at all. I will speak the truth as I see it, as I know it, because there is such a thing as objective truth, at least in my opinion, which I think is objectively true in that regard. So to each their own. We're going to have a hard time, if you don't believe in objective truth, then actually you're going to have a hard time in life. But, it's one of those things where at a certain point when you can agree that there is such a thing as truth, then the goal is to find out what it is. And it's one of the religions, at least as close as we can get, is one of the religions. So I think that's why it's all kind of, but I'm not a televangelist, and nobody on this show is a televangelist. I actually kind of despise televangelists. I think that they are some of the lowest of the low. And I think that several of them are infested by demons. The Squid says, I really hate that they are concerned trolling Mint all because they hate Riley. Yeah, that's, first of all, you watch the video, Mint is doing a bit that's all for attention and for money. I don't know if the autism thing is a bit. If I'm being honest with the folks, I think it is. I don't think she's actually autistic. I think it's a joke or a performance. And I might be wrong on that. I could be wrong on that.
I think
but when you dress up like the way you do, and then you make the money the way you do, and then you say, oh, I'm autistic, so it's all okay. It's not okay. And also, it's just seems very disingenuous to me. To be clear, I don't like Riley or Mint Salad. I don't like what they do personally. Yeah. I'm not going to attack them, but I don't attack anybody who does something that I don't like that they do in that sense. But when you start to be a hypocritical, that's when I really can't take it anymore. And that's why I think I'm going after Eric July today, is because of the hypocrisy. Carbon, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, just responding about Mint with the whole autism and whether she's putting on a show. Because recently people were sharing clips of her basically having a fit, screaming, breaking down. I don't know about if she has autism or not. That's hard to say. But I do think that when she acts up and spurgs out, I think it's a combination of it being real and also like she's letting it out intentionally. Kind of like the way a toddler would do it in order to get what they want and to get attention.
Gotcha.
Because a 2-year-old, you could manipulate them or sway them towards controlling themselves using different tactics, which proves that it's a choice. when they have a tantrum, very often it's a choice that they're making to throw a tantrum, and I think that's what Mint Sal is doing. Dr. Ben, what's your medical opinion on that?
Well, as you know, I'm not a medical doctor legally, so I can't give official. From my experience, though, I think mildly autistic would be my assumption. Like watching her, like I don't think it's something that like affects her. You know what I'm saying? Like all the bits that she does and run around with Riley and helping him do the show and stuff. Like obviously she's not like incontinent or whatever. You know, she can make choices. She knows what she's doing. You know, do we have? Has Johnny got a stack of cash? What's going on?
Interrupt you, Dr. Ben. I'm just technologically illiterate and it accidentally played. I'm gonna take a piss real quick. I'm gonna play this video while I'm gone.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk lately, a lot of slander, a lot of talk about Eric July, Ison, and I find it terrible. There's a lot of people out there that want to hate. They criticise Ison like it's filth. Criticism is racism. And I want you to understand that. If society's taught me anything, is that as white people should be utilising our white shame, our white guilt, and supporting all black artists, no matter how mediocre they are. Sure, Eric July might just be in it for the money. He might be a bit arrogant and condescending, but he's a black artist and you've got to support him. Because without support for our black artists, what would they have? You shouldn't be criticising black artists' work. It's just not on. It's not on. It's totally racist and bigoted. So I would like to say, leave Eric alone. And for all you white people out there having a go at him,
yeah,
try utilising some of your white guilt. Every black artist deserves to be supported. And Eric's a conservative. There's not many of them. It's a sad state of affairs. It really hits me in the heart. I mean, sure, Eric July might use a lot of CGI and graphics and computer-generated art, but that's not the point. He does it anyway, and he's doing it on his own. He's a strong, independent black man, and he's making money. And you lot can't do anything but hate on him. How sad and pathetic you must be. I'm not naming any names, but you know who you are. You know all the ones that have been mean to Eric. You've been mean to him. Mean. And he's not on. He's not on. He's the best thing since Malcolm X.
Oh my god, dude.
You know,
Johnny Scab is one of the most Comicsgate people on the planet.
I think he's got a point. Yeah, I really, I mean, I was thinking about this earlier before the show. I wasn't going to bring it up, but hearing Johnny's speech there, what if everyone has got it wrong? I mean, this is the thing we want to consider. What if all the bravado, all the the way Eric talks, he's a very loud person. He's very emphatic, right? What if that is really hiding a really tender, like scared person inside, and everything we're doing is just pushing him further and further and further. We know that comics artists, comics writers, they're a different sort of breed of person. Comics people are definitely different than like just regular accountants or whatever. So I mean, maybe everyone should try to like back off a little bit, like treat Eric a little bit more, gently. Like I saw him the other day. They were laughing, saying that he looks like he's just pushed to the edge.
Yeah.
What if that's the case? We all think it's a joke and that he's playing along, but what if it's not? What if, listen, Eric he's a fragile, he has fragile parts. Not all of them is fragile, obviously, but some
He's
parts
very
are
sensitive.
fragile.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean,
Well, the tough guy thing is definitely an act. I'm pretty sure everybody agrees on that now.
Yeah.
Especially since those dance videos came out.
Yeah.
The dance
exactly.
videos that came out from his youth. He, back in 2008, like he refers to when he said he would pull up and have a philosophical conversation with someone. Because apparently that's what pulling up means. I believe him now because if you look at him, he looked like he weighed about 160 pounds.
Yeah.
And no offense to thin people.
And that's what they said. He's like, he's short, is a shorter person as well.
He did not look tough. He didn't look tough at all.
Well, I will say, because I do combat sports and I know how bad I am compared to most of the people that I fight regularly. So I'm not talking like I'm a tough guy. I've learned enough to know that sometimes you can look at a dude and think, oh, that guy's not going to do anything at all, like because he's really skinny or whatever. And those guys are the guys who completely fuck you up. So I'll say that in his defense. And also guns, he lives in Texas. So pulling up might have meant, a more like lethal thing. But his reaction to the most recent scenario is proof in the pudding that he has no interest whatsoever in confronting people and either having a conversation with them to prove them wrong or to fight them, whatever happens to be the situation. And obviously, like, you could have beaten Riley in a fight. I still think Eric, if it was fisticuffs between Riley and him, I still think he could have beaten Riley in a fight. So there's a different like level of cowardice that's going on here. And I think it revolves around the dishonesty that he constantly shows. Go ahead, Carbon.
The irony is that, forget about all the, the tough guy shit. That doesn't matter. But the irony is that when this all started with Riley putting that video online of him going to the warehouse and putting the dollars on the window, remember how a lot of people were saying to Eric, why are you retweeting this? Why are you even replying to it? It could have disappeared. In an alternate world, imagine if you never retweeted, never replied, and nobody gave a damn.
Right.
None of it would be happening.
Right. Or if he had monetized his detractor, although in this particular situation, I don't think he's in a position where he could, because before when he monetized his detractors, and this was when I was a fan of him, he would use facts and logic and reasoning and good argumentative skills and keeping people on point, to prove that they were wrong. And it worked. And I didn't, there was no like, in my brain, there was no like cognitive dissonance, like, oh, he's not really being upfront here. But it was always just, he just used those things to dismantle his opponents. Dr. Ben.
Well, the difference. Oh, Doctor, you had something to say?
What? No, I don't. I was just.
You look like you had some. You look like you had something.
Sorry. I was reading the chat. Chuck Reardon's in there. This guy.
Good point.
Guy who talks the least is usually the most dangerous guy in the room. Then he's also. Where's that? That's not the.
Well, Carbon, before you continue, I want to read these chats. I'm so far behind. I'm sorry, chat. We're just, when we get into this groove of conversation, it just happens that way. Mr. Self-Destruct says, how do we know you aren't a porn star, PQ? Let me put it like this. I have enough scars on my upper body that you would know if it was me. Like, there's nobody else whose body looks like mine. And I'm not saying that in a good way.
That's what I was gonna ask you, because I hadn't noticed before. Like you said, you're in like combat sports.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about like the tougher guy, like the guys who are like, you would look at them and you'd be like, but they're like the machines.
Yeah.
Are they also the guys that are like saying that? Like, man, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna
No.
get in there, get in the box, get in the
No,
box.
to be
Come on,
brutally
yeah.
honest with you, after having been in this for like
Ah.
3 years now and still not being nearly as good as a lot of the people that I spar with continuously, like people who are good at fighting, they don't talk to you about that. They don't tell
Yeah.
you that they're good at fighting. Like
Are there
100%.
guys there that
they don't feel like
are
they
like
need
that,
to
though?
because they could fuck you up in an instant. They have no need to let you know that they're good at fighting. Only people who are bad at fighting tell you they're good at fighting.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what
Have
I've
there been guys
experienced
there
anyway.
that are have that same like bravado, like what
Like
the fuck,
of the percentage of people who are really good who talk like that, I would say it's maybe 5 to 10% of people who are actually good at fighting talk like they're really good at it. Everybody else knows enough to know because they're that good. They know enough to know that you don't know what the other person knows. And that person could fuck you up in an instant. So you don't assume, so you don't talk shit like that. Like you just sit back and you just say, you know, if a situation comes to a certain point, I feel like I'm ready, but that you don't go around talking to people like you're some hot shit unless you've already like UFC fighters do that because one, that's their part of their job, and two, like it's right there in front of people. Like, this person's a UFC fighter. The only way they got into the UFC was because they're good at fighting. So they have a right to say that. But regular people on the street, most of the guys who are super good at fighting, you don't hear it from them. You can like, once you know what a good fighter looks like, you can look at their body. Generally speaking, their calf muscles is what will tell me. I'll look at their calf muscles or I'll look at their ears. And if they've got cauliflower ear, I don't want to fuck with that guy because he's been
Right.
wrestling. I don't
He's
like
been doing it.
wrestling. I'm not good at that. I don't want to fuck with anybody like that. But you can also look at their calf muscles. And if their calf muscles are kind of like, how do I describe it? If they look like thick, but not defined, I'm more scared of that guy than I am of like somebody who's like super defined and bulky and muscular. Because
Yeah.
the guy, like, and not to say like thick in a fat way, just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just look a certain way. Like, once you notice what it looks like, you see it and you'll never forget it. You'll be like, oh, that guy can kick me really fucking hard and there's nothing I could do, so I don't want to fight him.
Muscles, they do look different when they're developed using different means. Because if a guy goes to the gym, for example, and he does all the different exercises to isolate, your muscles will look different than if you play a sport, per se,
Yes.
or if you wrestle. That's why wrestlers look so different than people who work out at the gym only.
Yes. Wrestlers are fucking scary, dude. I only do
Yeah.
stand-up stuff. I don't wrestle at all. So wrestlers, I don't like them at all. They're very scary to me. The Squid says, I got to catch up on these chats real quick. Eric says, Eric 100% is why Riley got arrested. Eric went online and claimed he didn't feel threatened by Riley, which he said on Rakita's stream. We all heard it. I listened to that stream twice, but turned around and told the cops that him and his employees felt threatened by Riley. Yes, which is what we call in the business, we call this pussy behavior. Mr. Self-Destruct says, shoes on the other foot. Riley should forgive Eric and show him the way. Yeah, I don't think Riley believes in all that stuff. I love how you capitalized the way, though. I really like that. Every fucking thing Mr. Self-Destruct says, I'm just like, God damn, this guy's on it. And then he judges me probably for saying God damn and taking the Lord's name in vain. Grimden wants Comicsgate dead. He wants all the FNT crowd to want us dead, all his fans to want us dead. He hates Comicsgate. He does. And it's funny that he says he doesn't like, he's got no enemies. His enemy and his competition is Comicsgate. So
is it just because like people like criticize his stuff? Is that the thing? Is that what it is? It's just everyone criticized it, and so then that's.
I think he would have done the same thing that a lot of these, these creators who like get in good with Comicsgate, they get their book promoted, they get a lot of money, and then they stab us in the back. I think he's one of those. I think he would have stabbed us in the back if we'd turned the back for him. But Comicsgate, I can't say we. Certain people in Comicsgate went after. Well, is it really fair to say they went after him first? He sent a night letter. He was trying to play it cool. He was trying to play it like the Kingpin, where he can control all the pieces on the board, but not be held liable for any of the actions that are made by said pieces. And what happened was he came up against another narcissist, EVS. Like, I love EVS, but let's be honest, he's kind of a narcissist. He he came up against another narcissist, and he thought that he was going to like bully that guy into submission. And here we are now. Real quick, Carbon, I know you want to talk, but I'm sorry. I've got to finish these chats here. Remember what you said. Your faith brothers me not. I'm COE myself. We detracted from the papal states in OGF&T, if you will. The papal states. I love that. Every time somebody says papal. Mint is mildly autistic or midly, but she's not retarded like others claiming she is. Yeah, I think if she's got autism, it's like it's either incredibly mild or also like I think that a lot of autism, anti-socialism is just like described by the psychological community that way. I'm sorry. I keep giving my opinions on things and not letting my people talk. Pretty sure Mint is autistic. She rocks back and forth in a very peculiar way and is very awkward in general. Raleigh puts on the act. So then are you saying that Hitler was also autistic? Because if you watch the Olympics, he was rocking back and forth. Riley plays into her fits and tantrums for content, of course. Dr. Ben says, as a proctologist, I've dealt with many assholes. And from what I can tell, that should be your shtick from now on, Dr. Ben, that you're a proctologist. That's good.
Amateur, underground proctologist.
Non-practicing. Right.
Yeah, non-practice.
Right. He just couldn't take too many assholes in the industry. You know? This is a wealth of jokes, Dr. Ben, that you can just grab from. Time to grab another beer, says Mr. Self-Destruct. He's right. Look, folks, in my Smirsh, which is Russian Spetsnaz. It's not Russian Spetsnaz, but it's certainly Russian chest rig here. I can keep either two AK-47, well, AK-74M, AK-102, AK-105 magazines in there, holding 5x45, or a Blue Moon. Gay, says Chuck Reardon. Hey, Chuck, how you doing, man? Nice to see you, dude. You're a goddamn legend, mate. Ben is absolutely on the mark with this one. Eric is a sensitive creative, like Matt Bear and PTP. Yeah. Look, we're on. It's what did I say? Today is war, and war never changes. I'm fucking sick of Matt Bear. I got to be honest with you, folks.
You don't like Matt Bear either.
He's crossed the Rubicon.
I've been on streams with the dude. Totally fine. He's totally fine on streams. He's like a fucking different person. And this is why when if you guys watched that thing with John Malin on, was it Dark Gifts channel? Was it?
Yeah, on the slums.
Maybe.
Yeah, on the slums.
John showed up and Matt Barr was there. Yeah.
And John said, you act totally different on streams than you do on Twitter. And I was like,
he does.
This exactly. Like John is 100% correct. And anybody pretending otherwise is fucking crazy. Like he's totally chill on streams. Cool. He dances. He's fun to talk to. Yes, he's stoned as fuck. But then he gets on Twitter and he's a fucking madman. And I'm done. It's fucking.
Sometimes really that's how you gotta do it. You know, like
when he's on stream with people, the reason why he doesn't get into those arguments is because when you're actually talking to somebody, you realize that your argument, there's no weight to it. There's nothing to argue about. It fizzles very quickly once you actually have a dialogue. But when he's alone yelling into the ether, he had a stream by himself earlier today where he's EFAPing Ethan now.
Does Carbon?
What's up?
He keeps roboting out on me.
Does he? He sounds fine to me.
Okay, well that's fine then. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Probably just I'm on my computer, so it might be reaching its limit. I'm sorry.
Chat, you guys having any issues with anybody? Let us know in the chat here. I'll read it in about 30 minutes.
All right.
We'll get them.
But
we'll get them in a while.
Yeah, Matt Barr, he goes on Twitter and basically yells into the ether when he's on his. It's kind of sad, really.
Yeah.
It is, and you know what happened? Like he said, what did he say? He said, "Oh, Twitter, dude, that's like fucking GTA. Like, it doesn't matter." Okay, okay, let me just, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be mean, folks, and this is not very Christian of me to say, but at the very least, I'm being honest, which is a Christian principle. Okay. I had an interaction with Matt Bear. I apologized to him about it on, I think it was the last, not last Comicsgate Commandos, but the last one with Johnny or the one right after that.
Wait, is this Matt Bear or Matt Barr?
Matt Barr, same guy.
Because I'm thinking maybe there's someone else named Matt Bear.
No, it's
So
Matt
you're
Barr.
met
It's
with
Bar.
But he, like, I literally apologized. I said to him, like, you've lost a customer, which I recognize as a very offensive thing to say to an artist. I get that. Like, and so I apologized for saying that to him. But really, that whole situation that occurred with us on Twitter was him being fucking stupid, really. And I said to him as much. I said on Twitter, I was like, so either you're fucking stupid or you're being disingenuous. Which one is it? And then he essentially responded with some kind of like, I'm not going to apologize to you. Go fuck yourself. So I was like, okay, so you're fucking dumb. And that's what
You know what
I've
he
come down
said today, by the way? You know what he said today?
Yeah,
on
what
his
did he
stream?
say?
Where I was like, wow, man, you just not a good look what you just said, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because over the last couple of days, you know that he's been streaming complaining about Ethan again.
Yeah.
And today he EFAP'd a clip from Ethan from Trashcast in which Ethan was talking about him. And after he EFAP'd the clip, he said, you know, actually, I've been getting along with Yellow Flash lately.
Oh my god!
And I'm doing some work for Yellow Flash, and I literally laughed out loud, dude. How fucking retarded! It's like, all right, now you're mad at Ethan.
Yeah,
it's like fucking bitch behavior.
Well, who's
like,
giving him money?
I'm
Think
talking
about
to
that.
your enemy now. I'm gonna talk to your enemy now and be
that's-
friends with him.
Yeah. Your petty, useless enemy who's dumb as a bag of rocks. I'm not going to talk about him getting drunk on stream. I've got no right to talk about that.
One last thing about Matt.
My bad.
Here's another thing about Matt, and I'll say this, you know, I'll back this statement 100%. Matt, for how confident and arrogant you are, and like tough you are with your speech, you're not as good of an artist as you say.
God damn.
You don't have the backing to be this arrogant. Like if you were maybe 20% better as an artist, I'd be like, okay, he's earned that arrogance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't have it, bro. Rock and Roll
100%.
Ninja. I'm not interested in Rock and Roll Ninja, dude.
Yeah. That's not to say that he's a bad artist at all. I mean, I don't know if that's what you're saying.
No, of course not. Obviously, he's not. He's a professional.
Yeah,
which
he's
he
good.
always likes to say.
I don't want to take
but he's not that good.
Yeah, bro. Like you don't earn that arrogance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
and none of us here. Go ahead, Dr. Ben. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't want to take like a position on pro or anti Matt Barr or Matt Bear if Matt Bear is out there as well. Like I don't have anything with him, but he also Matt Barr does not like Riley. Eric July does not like Riley, and then he's been pretty honest about that. That's been a whole thing. Matt Barr and Riley and Mint.
He's been upfront about that. I wouldn't hold that against him, really.
No, I just it's
and also
funny.
I don't
they're
I don't
all
like
in
Riley
this-
or Mint Salad either, so we're on the same page for that.
Right, but I well, that kind of defeats what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to defeat what you were saying.
It's good though, because I mean that's what you got.
Wait, finish your point like I hadn't said that. I want to hear what you were gonna say.
You look at Eric July, he doesn't like Riley. Can't take a joke from him, right? Right. All Riley's stuff, he's making jokes, blah blah. I'm gonna come and shave your shoulders. The girlfriend is, they start saying this stuff to Matt Barr, or he complains about them doing their show or their porn shows or whatever, which is not on the YouTube. Like it's on a separate wherever people do that thing, which I mean, you know what? There's been people that worked at the comic shops and stuff that I knew that also were like, hey, I got one, and I'm like, okay, I don't care.
But you're a dude. I don't want to see that.
The sad reality is that now,
what do you do on there?
A lot of people.
Like you reading comics?
69 for 69, baby.
Yeah. Well, since the pandemic, that's what made OnlyFans blow up, because a lot of people actually used it for money. Like, because during the pandemic, a lot of people were out of work. It was so sinister. You had all these young girls who they weren't working. They found out about it. They go, hey, I don't even need to show my face. I could just show my body and make tens of thousands of dollars. And so they were tempted and they did it. And that's what made it blow up. And now there's still people using it for supplemental income because they can't make ends meet. So I'm not defending it, but I'm just saying I get it now. There's a lot of people who are doing it on the side.
I want to
including
talk about
me.
that, but let's
No. I'm kidding.
It's all just been a commercial for
no one would know.
Real
Like we
talk
don't know if you're not.
No, I
just said
don't.
that I was a porn star earlier. We're all on. We all got our porn channels. Mine is where you watch me listen to Soundgarden, and that's it. It's enough to get people going. Let me tell you. I got to be honest. Soundgarden's a good band. But let's finish this Matt Barr thing before we move on. I just want to say real quick. Can I finish? I just want to say what I like.
Sure.
Matt Barr, I had nothing against you. You were you were particularly aggressive in Comicsgate, and I found that slightly interesting from time to time. But then it became very tiresome to me. And when I made a very, very innocuous, a very innocent comment on who was it? What's his name? The guy that nobody likes anymore. He's the Southern guy with the heavy drawl. Used to be in CG.
Cecil.
Wenger. Matt Wenger.
No,
Mandy.
Boyer.
Oh, Edwin Boyette.
Edwin Boyette. Edwin Boyette made a good point, as he does from time to time. Everybody makes good points from time to time. And I just made a very innocent comment about it. I just said, My comment was literally HMM or something like that. It was like, huh, or interesting, or awkward. It was some comment like that fucking Matt Barr just blew up at me about. And it was at that moment that I realized that Matt Barr has a severe combination of two things, which is the same thing that Eric July has a combination of: incredible amounts of pride and an incredible amount of stupidity. Matt Barr, you are one of the most unintelligent people I've ever had the displeasure of engaging with in my entire life. And I don't say that very lightly. Like, I don't call people unintelligent like that. You are truly one of the dumbest people in existence that I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. And the worst part about it is that you have such a level of pride in your own ability that you think you can talk the way you do to people. And it's sincerely off-putting. And if you think that you're going to make fans that way, or you're going to make, you've got to give up one of them, my guy. Either you've got to shut the fuck up about things you don't understand, or you've got to stop considering yourself to be God's gift to humanity. If you choose one of those things, you can be dumb and people will love you. You can be prideful and people will love you. Look at EVS. People love him. Very prideful, not unintelligent. He's actually very intelligent. But you have the same problem that Eric July has. And I just I can't stand it anymore. You're constantly going after people. You're either it's your weed. I love weed just as much as the next fella. But if you can't just calm down for a little bit and just be a man and interact with people in a regular way without getting incredibly distressed at everything they fucking say, then you really don't have any place to be here. You need to calm the fuck down. And if you can't calm the fuck down because of your pride preventing you from calming the fuck down, then you need to get rid of your pride. If you're a Christian, pray to God. Pray to him to heal you of your pride, just as he's healed so many people before you. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. God has helped me a lot. He's fucking shut me down over and over again and let me know I'm not God's gift to humanity. Hopefully he can give that to you too. And you can know too that you are still loved with all your flaws. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Matt Barr. This is going to be clipped maybe by people who care.
I don't want to say that I disagree or agree with that, right? I understand there's some controversy that Mr. Matt Barr might have a head injury, perhaps, that might excuse some of his erratic behavior. And without knowing for sure, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want people to think that we're just here to gang up on people or that.
No. But I got to be honest, Matt Barr's had this fucking coming. I know you're
Well-
friends with him. I know you like him. Oh, Carbon Heart's out. He can't take the Matt Barr talk.
I guess we know where he stands.
We know where he stands, you son of a
Uh,
bitch, Colonel Carbon. I'm just kidding.
What you did to Carbon Heart, Matt Barr. This is what you've done. You've driven Carbon
This is
Heart.
your fault, Matt Barr.
Because you're too controversial, Matt Barr.
This
You
is
need
the
to
thing.
calm down.
If Matt Barr just calm down for a little bit, I'd love to have him on the channel. He's fun to have on stream. It's simple. Just calm the fuck down. I cannot have him on my streams though, because you know what he is? He's a problem.
It's a wild
He's
man.
a risk. He's a fucking risk. I don't know what.
Well,
he's
now
doing.
he's gotten a little bit two-faced, also because it's gotten to the point where, like, especially on his solo streams, where he's just like ranting. He's just ranting and bitching about Ethan, but also he's going for low blows too, and that's when Ethan a while back blocked him, because then like it's one thing to get a little bit angry, but then you've seen it on Twitter where like he'll work himself up to the point like he starts attacking your family, and then like he starts like viciously insulting you, and then it's like, well, dude, like where's this coming from? And then I guess, and then once again he comes on stream and he's calm again. Hey guys,
Yeah,
what's up?
totally chill.
You can't trust somebody like that.
I think he's bipolar or something. And I'm not going to be like, God bless, God save you, God get help. Like
my prayers are with him.
Like, yeah, I mean, like
I'll
I
pray
hope
for
that
you.
things get better for you. I hope that God does heal you, but at the same time, you got to want it for yourself, my guy. I can't just say, "Oh, prayers up, my guy," and it's going to help you. Like you have to go out of your way to solve your problems that everybody's fucking telling you have. So, goddamn, I'm so mad this stream. I'm sorry, guys.
I haven't said that Matt has any problems for sure.
For the record, Dr. Ben has not said that Matt has any problems. Matt or
Well, you mentioned the
Matt, if you're
potential
listening
brain.
to this, Dr. Ben is still cool with you.
The brain damage might be a valid excuse.
Alleged, right? That's what I'm saying. Without further, we'd have to open a full investigation into Matt Barr, and I don't really think.
Well, heavy drug use also can cause brain damage as well. So
that's true. He is
there is that
marijuana's user. Yeah.
Look, we all like weed just as much as the next fella, but like,
no,
either he's got a severe problem, or
well, actually, all kidding aside, I've known a bad weed habit to cause people to have mood swings. I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, no, I've seen it. It makes, because when they're off of it, they become irritable, and then they're craving that next high. It's just like any other drug. A lot of people they want to deny that weed is still a problem. It's because it's lighter, but it can become a problem.
Oh yeah. It's become a problem in my life before. I noticed it. Like, and yeah, I would get very emotional when I was off weed. Like I would. Well, this isn't a very manly thing to say, but it's honest, and that's what I am of all. If anything, is that like there would be points where I'd go off weed for about a week, and just like after a week, just in my car driving, I would just randomly like hear a song and start crying, and it's like, why am I doing this? Like I'm not sad at all.
That's because all your neurochemicals are fucked.
Yeah.
That's why.
Most of the time, I'm not on stream. I'm crying. That's fine.
Yeah, I believe it.
But Matt Barr, if you're listening to this, our conversation about you is over. But just to be clear, I don't like you very much. Carbon Heart, how do you feel about him?
Well, I mean, I've been completely honest already.
For the record.
Well, then you're a detractor of Matt Barr, and Dr. Ben is all cool with you, Matt Barr. So don't hurt Dr. Ben for what we've said. He's fine. He's not hurt you in any way.
His behavior is not trustworthy. That's for sure. It's not good.
And I've noticed shit too with him when he was on Johnny's streams, which we can get into at a later date. If he pushes it further, I'll go further. You think I don't like chaos? You think I don't like? I love the drama. I love the adversity. I love it, you see. But the people don't like it. The people, they like it for a minute, but then they get, they're like, can we just stop being so aggressive and just get back to things that we like? I like, fine. So that's why I avoided it for now. But if you fucking start the war, I will finish it. Anyway, Mr. Self-Destruct says, carrot. I love how you got that lined up, dude.
Is that a carrot? Is what that is?
It is, because he's referencing Chuck Reardon says the guy who talks the least is usually the most dangerous guy in the room. Yeah. The guy who talks the least and has cauliflower ears. Don't mess with that guy. What GQ dressing like is he about to deploy? What? What GQ?
I believe he's referring to you, sir.
What GQ dressing like he is about to deploy? Chuck, this is another thing, folks. I love alcohol just as much as the next fellow, but when you can't type out super chats to me for $5, Chuck Reardon says, "What GQ dressing like he is about to deploy?"
Well, obviously it's deploy, but
what is GQ dressing? Am I stupid? I could be just stupid.
No idea.
Okay, sorry, Chuck. Can you help us out? Eric did monetize Riley back at the warehouse thing. That was his $5 ISOM1 promo code pull-up. Oh, you're right. He did.
Pull-up is a promo code.
I forgot about that. Wow. I totally forgot about that. He did do that. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. That was, yeah. Boxers and IFV, chap. Are you British too, Chuck? Is all of our audience British? Boxers and UFC fighters talk shit and can back it up because it's their job to talk shit. That's correct. It is their job to talk shit. Chuck Reardon says Patty Q looks at guys a lot. What is that? What is that supposed to mean?
When you were commenting on calves before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see, that is true. Like, I will look at a... Can you turn this music off? We're not talking about anymore. This is like regular shit. I will say, yeah, like, when I first meet a human person, a man, well, let's be honest, a woman too, I will look at, particularly women, I will look them up and down surreptitiously and try to determine whether or not that person is a threat to me. I understand that that's not a regular thing for humans to do, that's like kind of a weird paranoid thing that I do, but that's what I do. Like, I look at you, when I meet you in person, I look you up and down and I go, what are my chances against this person in a fist fight? That's the first thing I do.
Believe it or not, that's actually what humans do, though, in general.
Really? Because other people told me that was weird.
Well, no, it's a natural instinct. Our first, what we notice first about a person is their silhouette. So their general size and height and in comparison to you is the first thing we notice before their face. If you think about it, and it makes sense because that's, your peripheral vision is going to notice that mostly first, and then once you determine, okay, their body in comparison to yours, then you look at their face.
Okay, cool. Then that means I'm not as weird of a freak as I thought I was.
Yeah.
Barr has Twitter bipolar disorder. I think he's just dumb. Rip Barr. He's still alive, and good that he's still alive. I don't wish death upon anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like that Barr.
Like, death is freedom from this earthly coil, so you could theoretically be in heaven. So you should kind of, to a degree, wish death upon yourself. But that's a conversation for a different time. Clink, he says. Clink. I'm going to ruin my camera that way. Some people on YouTube are so childish, it's annoying. It's a thing. They really are, William Schaefer. William, do you think that we're being Whoa. Something popped up on my screen. William, do you think that we're being childish talking about this stuff? Please be honest with me. Like, I don't like, generally speaking, talking about the private stuff, or not the private stuff, the kind of dramatic stuff. But how do you feel about that? Do you think we're being childish, or do you think that we're just kind of talking about things that are at least, top of mind or whatever? Top of mind. That's Joe Bidenism.
No, it's the events that's going on. So if there's been drama, we're going to talk about the drama. It's basically, we're not starting up drama.
Yeah. I don't want to be considered an Eric July, you know, like for instance, Katie did. I would consider her an Eric July detractor channel. Not that I judge her in any way for that. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what she does. She detracts Eric July. Do you guys feel similarly, or do you feel like I'm off base there?
Well, it's true. I mean, the majority of her content is pretty much just showing those clips. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much what she's doing. Just detracting. Obviously, there's more to talk about. We talk about other stuff, but you know, I'm glad that we covered what's going on with those characters because they've proven themselves to be unsavory characters, basically.
Yeah. I wouldn't have brought it up on Comicsgate Commandos, except that because I try to keep Comicsgate Commandos primarily about the comics. I like to have a guest on and talk about, usually I like to have writers on because writers don't really get a lot of attention. I'm a writer and I like to, I like to support fellow writers because writers are really kind of looked upon as like lesser in Comicsgate. I've noticed anyway. But so I like to have writers on so they can talk about their book, and I like to talk about other people's books. I really, really love talking about other people's books. But I got to be honest with you folks, when July started saying that shit, like when he started like prayers up, when I saw that was really the tweet for me. Prayers up. I was like, go fuck yourself, you son of a bitch. Like, prayers up. First of all, what the fuck does that mean? That's some kind of Ebonic slang of I'm sending prayers up. Just fucking say that, or say something of value instead of prayers up. By the way, because prayers up, all that is like a clarion call to his Protestant. Well, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to shit on Protestants too much. You guys probably hate me by now.
A lot of issues with Protestants.
To his super like conservative boomer Christian base. Boomer mentality. I'm not talking about age-wise, who are like, oh yeah, prayers. Yeah, this black man's all about the prayers and the Christianity and the yada yada yada, and it's just like it's so disingenuous. You fucking hate these people, dude. We all know you do. Like we all saw you not even a year ago talk shit on these people. Like, so the hypocrisy and the disingenuity of the whole. The whole Christian peace man thing, it drives me crazy because it's like, I'm sorry. I get so mad about Christian hypocrisy. I got to be honest with you folks.
The bigger problem. Oh, you're going to read chats? Go ahead.
I'm just going to finish them out. I'm like, literally, dude, I've got so many to do. Shit, says Mr. Self-Destruct. Wait, can I say it like Mange? Shit. And then we got Mr. Self-Destruct. Broken clocks are right twice a day. That's true, unless they're digital clocks. Chuck Reardon says false confidence makes people act very poorly. Yes, it does. William Schaefer says some people are thinkers, some are intelligent. It's not always the same thing. Good point.
That's
Good
true.
point.
I like that. Yeah.
What curious music, says Mr. Self-Destruct, who's the music you were playing, Dr. Ben. TBI is a hell of a thing. What's TBI? Uncapped Turtle, hello. Hello, Uncapped Turtle. Welcome to our stream. Hope you like it. If you don't, I'd still like you to subscribe and like, because it'll help me. May not help you, but I'm just kidding. Only like this video if you like it. I really actually do mean that. TBI, what does TBI mean?
TBI.
Tuberculosis inoculation.
Traumatic brain injury.
Oh, yeah, he's right. He's not wrong. Who's playing the music? Mr. Self-Destruct says. It's Dr. Ben. I thought the Lonely Man song would come up and PQ's grievances with Bad Bear. No, you should have played like Avenged Sevenfold or something. You know what I mean? Some metal. Good job, Dr. Ben. That was funny. Yeah, he got me. Bless your heart. Yeah, I see that. True, says Mr. Self-Destruct. I'm going to assume that he means true when I say fuck the FBI, the CIA, and the ATF. So, Mr. Self-Destruct, you're now on a list. I just get paranoid, says William Schaefer. Don't we all? It's the strong 30% THC that's the problem. Get paranoid, get all in your feelings, maybe hurt yourself or others. I don't know about hurting yourself or others. I've never experienced that on this 30% THC. What do you guys have any experience with that? real quick.
I honestly have not.
THC?
I have not paid attention to the percentages of what I've taken.
Well, he's just
but
saying 30% is the modern weed percentage, whereas it used to be like something like 10 to 12% in the 70s and 80s. So now it's 30%.
I do know that those different scenarios that he listed, though, they have happened in people. Even some like extreme cases where, especially with the new like designer marijuana that they're making in California, where it's like synthetically modified. There's been cases of people like completely losing their shit and getting violent too. So like, yeah, you can't trust this stuff. Like,
are you talking about synth weed? Because synth weed's been around since I was in college, and that shit's horrible for you.
Yeah. Well, what was that? Like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but then
because like
they're down to the point where they've controlled the percentages of everything in it now. You know, so like.
But I always thought that synth weed was different from like the regular. Like 10 years ago, I was buying from a drug dealer and it was illegal, theoretically speaking, in Minecraft. So, like, I still got 30% THC in the illegal weed, but it wasn't. What do they call it? K2 or whatever they called synth weed back then.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about the different varieties that exist now. Like, there have been different reactions to them, and so it's not unheard of to hear about that hurting yourself or others and like fucking losing your mind. It can happen.
Well, the whole legalized weed thing was always a problem for the weed smokers because the weed smokers before got weed that was weed, and now they get weed that's been corporatized. How does chat feel about that? If chat smokes weed? Chuck Reardon says artists can be temperamental and let's say eccentric, very much so. Very temperamental, very eccentric. They're very, that's how artists are. Let's be honest. Mr. Self-Destruct says drama stream with more beers. That's right. Time to make my camera suffer. I'm actually smacking my camera with that. So I better, you better be doing the same thing with yours, Mr. Self-Destruct. You better be smacking your computer screen. Your screen name says General Q. Yes.
So that's what the GQ was before. When he said GQ, that was General Q.
Oh. Okay, cool. Okay. Noted from now on. I like in my brain, I am PQ, Q, Patty Cakes, Patrick Quinlan, but GQ was never something I was. So I get it now. I look at their calves. I look at their ears. It's not gay. That's not gay at all. It's totally straight. When you read comments in real time, they make more sense, Patty Q. Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm trying to catch up. Okay. I generally eyeball the shoulders and the hips. Okay, that's way more gay, Chuck. Come on. That's way more gay. Flash plus bear equals RIP. Yes. First of all, Chuck, respond to that. Please respond to that. That's gay as fuck. Yup, a big guy may punch you in the face. A little guy will shoot you. Careful observation. That's very true. The little guy's not fucking around. He doesn't want to fight a big guy. William Shaver says, top of mind. Top of mind. There, he was laughing at my my Joe Biden joke. Have you heard that the Eric July fans swatted Mint and Riley? Was it a swat? Really? I mean, let's be honest. Let's because we have to be specific about definitions if we're gonna win conversations. Was it a SWAT really, or did they just it was a wellness?
It was a wellness check. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We don't fucking equivocate and redefine terms here like they do.
Yeah. No, we're here for the truth. The truth. The truth is what will set you free. Detract implies there is something to take away from initially. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I wouldn't be surprised Uncapped Turtle, when Uncapped Turtle says, have you heard that Eric July fans swatted Mint and Riley? Seriously, because he kept posting that, Eric Sims called the police to do a wellness check on Mint and Riley. So, okay, but let's be on, like Uncapped Turtle, I got no issues. Let's just say in the future, we can't say swatted because swatted is very different than a wellness check. A wellness check is
why would we not escalate the descriptions of it though? Like you're saying
because it's dishonest and dishonesty is the tool of the enemy. And we will not use dishonesty to make because the truth is the most important thing of all things. And that's the thing that Eric July misses, is that the truth is most important.
I don't know. Like, I think in some cases, like, winning is like the most important thing.
No.
Like, what if you're true, but like you lose?
It doesn't matter. You never lose if you're true. If you're true, then you will lose in the mortal coil, but you will win in heaven. So if you're an atheist and you don't believe that, do whatever the fuck you want. But if you believe that your actions matter and that the truth matters and that your eternal creator wants you to speak and do the truth at all times, you must do it and speak it at all times. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite like the rest of them. I have no interest in being a hypocrite. So when I see things like that, I'm not saying that Uncapped Turtle is a liar or anything like that. I'm just saying, let's be very specific about the words that we use. I'm the son of a lawyer. So as the son of a lawyer, I know that when you say certain words, they can fuck you, like, and not in a fun way either. So we just need to be very specific.
What do you think is a good reaction then? Like, okay, so it wasn't, they didn't swat him, but they sent the police to their house.
They sent a wellness check to their house. They sent a fucking pig to their house.
Like,
go ahead.
Uncapped Turtle has a point. I mean, they basically called the cops on them. You know, they were claiming some shit's going down in the house that was, you know, not good. And so they basically called the cops on them. I get it. Obviously, it's a bad thing.
But you guys know
you're right. It's not the same as
same thing as being swatted. A wellness check is
could be. Are they
about to say that?
Go ahead.
Swatting is still more intense because a SWAT means that a fucking SWAT team showed up, you know, ready to
potentially
bust down
to kill
the door.
you. Yes.
Yeah, so it's still different. Yeah.
It's very different. A wellness check is when they send, you know, a fucking somebody who's got a BA in fucking psychology to your door to knock on it and be like, "Is everything okay? I'm gonna write down." Well, sometimes it's.
I mean, I agree that the police are definitely bitches that suck each other's cock all day long. I definitely agree with that.
Say that.
Yes, I thought that's what you were saying. That
No,
they just
that's
have
not
BA
what I
degrees
said.
in psychology and stuff. That they're a bunch of
That's not what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, they send cops to do checks, like sheriffs and stuff. Like
that got really out of hand really quick.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of the police. Like that's what I'm saying. If we're providing anything for Mint and Riley, it's to give them a better perspective on things. So that's what I'm saying. Like they literally have these people like sending the cops to their house. Has anyone showed up at Eric July's house yet? Because that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we need to be able to give Eric Riley and Mint is like more perspectives.
Oh my god!
To help them. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
quick,
Because
Dr. Ben, what's your temperature? What's the temperature where you're living right now? Just out of curiosity.
What temperature is it? There's
not in your home, outside.
I don't know. They're shooting out there.
Is it hot?
They're shooting.
You can't hear the gunfire.
I just heard the shot. It sounded like a shotgun.
Did you?
Or a rifle.
I can't hear shit.
Something.
Chat, can you hear the shotguns going off behind Dr. Ben? Dr. Ben, is it like where, like, I don't know, you can't say where you live, but is it like 80, 90? What's the temperature right now outside?
Like t-shirt weather.
So 85, 90?
80s.
Yeah,
Okay.
possibly.
It's not like egregiously hot right now where you are, is it?
No.
Okay, Carmen, how about you? How hot is it right where you are?
About 72 degrees.
Damn. Carmen lives up north. That's a good point for me. I'm going to remember that. Maybe that's what prayers up meant. Go check on them.
Right. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Is like, what is the response? What is the next response? Eric's sending the cops to their house.
Eric didn't send the cops to their house. Look, we have to be very specific about the words that we use unless we want to make their point for them. You see, the enemy will use every single word that you say against you. So you have to be very careful about what you say because the truth is actually on our side. So as long as we speak the truth, we'll be fine.
It appears as if Eric's associates or like
well, of course,
sure,
people who are fans,
his fans,
the truth of the matter is they're at the point, and this is why I believe in telling as little as possible about what's going on in your your private life.
Yeah.
Because they're at the point where whoever it is, orbiters of Eric's, pretty much want to ruin Riley and Mint's lives. They want Riley in prison, and they want Mint to leave Riley and to go back to her family. And that became clear in the tweets that were surrounding that incident report.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's saying Mint should go back to her family, and
Right.
they're saying Riley is a domestic abuser and a whole list of other things. They want their lives ruined. It's clear. So Eric and his whole ilk of fucking people who, this is a reaction to, all you have to do is make fun of Eric and gain some traction, and then they want your life destroyed because they can't handle the criticism. They can't handle it. They want to snuff it out. It's not a good thing. This whole, especially for being an indie creator, like the comic medium of us making our own comics, being a new writer, being a new artist. Anytime somebody goes, "Hey, Eric, you released Yaira," it still has 3D assets, which it does, right?
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
Did you
It
see the
has
Skyrim sword thing?
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just make this
okay,
point
sorry.
because
My bad.
Yaira looks like shit. I don't know if you saw Ethan's review of it. He proved that there's like 3 different artists in it. There's 3D assets. The fucking plot looks horrendous. Yaira is unlikable. These are all criticisms that, from a comic fan's perspective, make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it's like, it's not a good book. We don't like it. Yet, what's Eric's reaction? He's going to go, well, this is my critique to your critique.
look.
That's fucking bullshit. Oh my god. Because that means that no one can ever say that your shit sucks, which it does.
Yeah.
It just does, dude. Get better.
Yeah.
Hire better people. Don't accept this mediocre shit anymore.
Does he see Mark Miller? Does he see John Byrne? Does he see any of these legends of the comic book industry saying, "Here's my critique of your critique"? No, they don't say any of that. I gotta finish these chats, folks. I'm gonna fucking burn through them here, and nobody say anything.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe that's what prayers up meant. Go check on them. No, that's not true. He's not a Christian. He's a name and claim New Age thinker. Okay. I can't. I'm not going to comment because then we'll start a conversation. Traumatic brain injuries. If you guys know what you want to comment on when we come back here. Carrot. ATF. All them. Yep. That's Matt's issue. The ATF. Hopefully not. Super skunk in the UK. News article. Young man cuts penis off and kills mother. Stabs father. What a shock. Oof. K2 cousin had a grand mal seizure on that. And taxed. Big Chill Phil. He's talking about weed. How about the weed? 30% THC and taxed. You're damn right, dude. I like the new weed. I've been smoking since the late 80s. Chuck, you might be a Fed. Cheers to Big Chill Phil. If the right or left is heavy, they're probably carrying. Eye the shoulders initially to determine if they're going to hit you. Yes, if they're going to hit you, but sometimes you can tell if a man is like capable of fighting just by looking at his certain parts of his body. And I'm not talking about his dick. Okay? Cheers, says Big Phil. Definitely gay, says Chuck Reardon. He's talking about Big Chill Phil. Horrible that Chuck would attack Big Chill Phil like that so blatantly on our channel. But here we are. I mean, you know, how do you respond to that, Big Chill Phil? It's kind of aggressive on Chuck Reardon's part. He doesn't usually act that way. I consider this man is beating his girlfriend. Please go check on her to be the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Particularly in a state where they have a must arrest for domestic disturbance calls. Fair enough. That's a fair point. Carrot, says Mr. Self-Destruct. By going hyperbolic, you give your opponents a reason to dismiss your arguments as lies. That's how I feel, Chuck. That's exactly how I feel. They didn't get to decide the response, although I will be honest, I do go hyperbolic from time to time, so maybe I'm not the best person to be saying that. They didn't get to decide the response. They told the police she was being beaten. Okay, if that's true, then I'm wrong about what I said earlier. Dr. Ben. Dude, Mr. Self-Destruct is laughing at your appearance. This is horrible. Mean and horrible. I can't believe
right.
you would do something like that.
All right. It's okay.
No, they're not laughing at him.
Thanks, Mr. Self-Destruct. You're the best. Yes, says Mr. Uncapped Turtle. He's saying yes to like them laughing at your appearance, Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben reporting from the battlefield that he is. I love the gun sounds in the background. That really does make it. This really sells it. Damn, wellness check, SWAT. They both call attention to you. Not good. You're right. There are two different things, but if what was said earlier by Uncapped Turtle about them saying that he was inflicting violence on her is true, that's a different story, and I will retract my previous statement. 88 degrees, says Mr. Self-Destruct. That's the level of Freemason that Mr. Self-Destruct is. He's in the 88th degree. And they put you on the list. They put you on the list, Mr. Self-Destruct. That's horrible. See, this is why he says I need to read super chats in time. Orbiters, ball washers, same difference. Same, yeah, it is the same difference. Mr. Self-Destruct, 100%. He said 100% when he was regarding the 88 degrees of him being a Freemason, which means that William Schaefer is also a Freemason, ladies and gentlemen. Horrible, horrible. Freemasons are evil people. I'm just
Greetings
kidding.
to all our Freemasons crowd. I didn't know we had them, but
I don't know that anybody
No,
any
we're here,
Freemason
bud.
is watching this show.
Chad is just a honeypot of
Yeah, I know.
ne'er-do-wells.
Let's get caught up. I'm just real quick. I got 3 more chats. Elder Scrolls Skyrim sword is based on the common Nordic sword. Maybe a swipe, but not a big deal. Swipes are big deal to me. Be great. Oh, go fuck yourself. Fair. Thank you. He said fair in regards to me saying go fuck yourself to Mr. Self-Destruct. Super chats from super people. That's damn right. Patty Q is obviously a CIA plant as a non-fed can tell. Bro, what do I have to prove to you people that I'm not a fucking fed? I don't, what do I have to say? There's nothing I can do. Folks, I've got a trailer for you. I'm going to take a quick break from the negativity real quick.
I thought I've been pretty positive.
You've been pretty positive.
I've been on the side for Matt Barr. Everyone else was against Matt. I was for Matt Barr.
Yep.
Everyone has been against Eric.
Yep.
And I am, offering him the olive leaf or whatever of, he's really a Christian. Do the Christian thing.
You got to offer him the whole branch, not just the leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop the charges against Minton and Riley. Drop the charges. Do the Christian thing, Mr.
Yeah. Imagine if Eric comes on. Imagine if Eric came out on Twitter and he went, "You know what, Riley? I forgive you."
Damn.
Imagine if he fucking typed that into Twitter. How insane that would be.
That's why I know he's not being honest though, because he won't.
Well, he could. Don't say that he won't, because you know what I'm saying. You're giving him a negative.
He
doesn't have to do anything.
I'm just making a fucking, what do they call that?
Give him the
hypothetical.
Space.
There you go.
Give him the space to be shown grace. Hey, I personally, and I can agree with you definitely about he seems like an asshole, just fucking with these kids and everything. Mint and Riley are in their 20s. They're fucking kids.
Oh, look,
what I'm saying?
I wouldn't give them that
and he's saying that they're retarded or whatever. So he's fucking with retarded kids, saying both of them are retarded. So what is he going to do? He's going to call the cops. He's going to have Brandon call the cops, or the hotel is going to, you know what I'm saying? He's going to ensure that their life gets worse, and he views them as retarded children. That's
to be clear,
you know what I'm saying?
But to be clear, we can't say that.
Despicable.
I don't think that we should say that it's Eric doing it, because we don't have any proof for that. All we have proof for, we certainly know that there are cultists who follow in his footsteps and do.
We saw the warrant thing.
No, but the warrant is different from calling people to his house to get a wellness check or a SWAT. We can't, it just comes to a point where there's certain things that people do that we can't blame on another person without evidence. We don't know who called the wellness check. We don't know who called the SWAT. We can assume
I'm not speaking
that it
in
was
like
somebody
factual. This
who
is
is
all
in
theoretical.
favor of Eric July, but we can't assume that it was actually Eric July. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would doubt that.
Like
Allegedly, it appears.
because Dr. Ben, that's the kind of thing. If we were to say that, that's the kind of thing that Eric July would clip and he would post on his fucking channel, and he'd be like, "Look at all my detractors. It is that they did this, and it is that this, that, and the other, and that they said this about me. It is, but except I never had anything to do with it." Like that's what he would do, and to his detractor, to his fans, we would look like fucking retards for saying something like that. Because we don't have any evidence. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you're
We don't
saying.
want to
Like,
give him any ammunition. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't have any personal knowledge of what Eric July has or hasn't done, you know, in regards to this Riley Mix character or the Mint Lady. You know, I don't have any personal knowledge of anything Eric allegedly has done or is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's crimes of inaction as well. I'm on a short timeline here, guys. You know, there's only so long before the tongue rots off. Like, that's what happens. It just starts there and it's over. But yeah, no, I'm just, you know, commenting on the way that things can appear or the way that some people could take what appearances are with Eric July, all these characters, the detractors. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's to say, like, you know, something with Katie did. I don't care for that lady, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say tomorrow, you know, the some sort of bizarre claim comes up against her, right? Oh, she was doing this. She
Another
was
one, you
doing
mean?
that. Yeah, or any of these other people, Frog Tony, say all of a sudden all these
Real
bizarre
quick,
claims about
William
him
Schaefer
start coming
says,
out.
"Another great show. Have a great night." Thank you, William. Thanks for tuning in, man. We really appreciate it.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for coming in. Hope you had a good time. Continue. Sorry, Dr. Ben.
That's what I'm saying is, like, ultimately Eric is going after people that criticize or detract about his comics, right? So it could be anyone. That's the state has to prove all the different items in its accusations, right? Now, whether the warrant for the warehouse or whatever, if it's that warehouse for Riley, it's hard to imagine that there's some other warehouse that, like, Riley allegedly taped things to. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to imagine that it's some other warehouse other than Eric July's, but it could be. You know, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, Eric has got to do the right thing. If it truly was from Eric, he's got to do the right thing and drop these charges. They're illegitimate, fraudulent, if they're real. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm more just a commentator on this legal matter. You
Let's
know,
read some of these chats here. Chuck Reardon says, "Stop looking at guys like that." I think this is the text message that he just told me not to read. Or just come into the closet. Come out of the closet. Skip my last chat. I deleted it because I messed up the spelling. This one? Where you messed up the spelling on this one? Look, bro, I look at every man that way. I look at them and I say, I look up and down. Yeah, this is going to sound super gay. That's fine. I look up and down their body and I go, is this man a threat to me? And I can tell within probably about 1.2 seconds whether or not I consider that man a threat to me. Now, there are like 5 to 10% of the time that I'm incorrect in my assumption. But for the most part, looking at a man, looking at his body, you can tell what kind of athletic person he is or is not. And you, as a fighter, can judge whether or not you need to worry about this person or not. Where are we? Who else would have the address of Riley? That's a good point. Allegedly, Mr. Self-Destruct says, what do you mean short timeline? Magic Johnson is still with us, Dr. Ben.
Thank God. Prayers up. Prayers up. Let me tell you.
All right, folks, let me play this trailer real quick for Kataru Witch Hunter. I didn't even present it. That's how off base
is
I am
it
right now.
I've heard
Kataru Witch Hunter is a comic book made by a known detractor of Eric July, known as Von Claus. A man I would love to have on this show one day. If he watches this show ever, which he may or may not, I would love to have him on one day. I've also got Hojo of the Mythicals on deck. He's not necessarily like he was supposed to be. I mean, like if all things had worked out and he was available and everything worked out, he was theoretically going to be the guest either this weekend or next weekend, but he's on vacation, so good for him. Enjoy your vacation. And when he can come on, we're going to have him on to talk about the Mythicals 1 and 2, which I don't know if you guys have read those, but those are really like they're some of the best Comicsgate books out right now, and in my opinion. But for right now, we're going to show Kataru Witch Hunter just because it's top of mind, and we got Von Claus, quote unquote talking shit on Eric July. So let me show this to you guys, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some more beers while this trailer is playing.
Why is it a bird?
Who has a parakeet in the background? Does Patrick have a bird?
This looks like a fucking awesome comic. Parakeets and spin. Okay. It does look really good though. Why is this video just like fucked up?
Yeah, Patrick's when he plays videos, sometimes it buffers like this. It's
It's like we can do a running commentary on it. Like,
yeah, we'll get through it.
God damn my fucking internet, dude. God damn it. That's so frustrating.
It's probably worse if we try it on my computer, I would imagine. Right?
Dude. I'm plugged in and everything. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Kataru, Witch Hunter. I'm sorry, folks. Was that really bad when I left there for a second? Was it really that bad?
We had a couple of pauses, but hey, we got through it.
I'd like,
yeah.
If you guys know of something I need to do to like make my internet better, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I'm so technologically illiterate.
Well, it is possible if you contact your provider, you might be able to just up the speed, get a higher speed internet from them.
This hurts me to see Mr. Self-Destruct say these things. You see this? It hurts me.
How do you think we felt?
Mr. Self-Destruct says, it's a very nice book. Love Von Claus writing. I do too. I've got 2 or 3 of his books right now. I like his writing a lot. He makes me feel not very good because he's so much better of a writer. At least the lag is in perfect time with the music. Hey, there we go. Cool. And I spoke too soon, says Uncapped Turtle. I highly recommend Von Claus books. Just read Kataru. Just read Kataru last night. Simple yet bloody and elegant. Yeah, dude. I have. God damn. What are the titles? Terror in the Trenches. That one was a good one. I didn't like the art so much. I'm just not a big fan of that style of art. I like more classic comic book art. But the writing was very good. Although I will say it left off on a cliffhanger. So I'm excited to see what happens next. And then I also have Psycho Killers. Is that what it's called? It's beautiful art. Honestly, I love the art.
Is there a new Psycho Killers coming out? Or is this the same one that they released? Patrick, it looks like you froze.
It looks like.
I guess it's that time of the night where just
Yeah. There we
the
go.
agencies, the alphabet agencies just want the stream to end.
Excellent.
And, you know, tonight we didn't say too many controversial things about, you know, the government and, you know,
No,
the
I
world.
don't think so. Nothing too much like.
Well, don't let me stop you. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me finish showing Kitaru Witch Hunter here. I don't want to shortchange Vaughn here. Ladies and gentlemen, Kitaru Witch Hunter, let the hunt begin. A roguish witch hunter named Kitaru uses an arsenal of cursed weapons to purge the world of malevolent witches or die trying, but he must slay his own demons first. This standalone story is 100% done. It is 56 color pages of gorgeous art and mystical murder mystery with an 8-page bonus story, means 66 pages of art total. With the art finished, we plan to run a fast campaign that prints and fulfills quickly so you can get your book sooner rather than later. As a bonus, all physical purchases come with free digital deluxe version in case you're a loser and like to read comic books digitally.
Yeah,
that's not in his description. I put that in there. I added that in. With your help, we can make this gorgeous book a reality. I've already successfully fulfilled 2 books, and I'm ready to make this number 3. Let's hunt. Yeah, he has. Folks, if you're wondering whether or not Vaughn Claus is a man to back, like if he's going to fulfill his books, he fulfills his books, and he fulfills them in spades. Like they're good books. And his writing is, as Ethan Van Sciver says, way better than most of the Comicsgate writers. So bear that in mind. Vaughn Claus is one of those guys like myself, not to toot my own horn, but he's one of those guys like myself who makes he specifies every aspect of what he wants his artist to do. He'll draw his own versions of the characters, of his character designs, and then the artist will translate them into their style. So Vaughn is a consummate professional. He is an excellent author. If you have not read Terror in the Trenches Volume 1, I have not read Monster MD. So I can't say anything about that. But if you've not read Terror in the Trenches Volume 1, pick it up now while you can. If you can't, where is it? Can we get that here? Doesn't look like it's here. I know he said he was going to do an omnibus for all of his works in the next campaign. And also, I need to get this t-shirt here. Only $25. Damn. But yeah, folks, look at this shit. Would you just look at it? It's so beautiful. Just look at it.
Oh my gosh.
Good shit.
This is Vaughn Klaus.
Well, it's not his art. He hired an artist, but he's the writer. And Vaughn is always, like I said, consummate professional, very good at writing. He's very good at making a story satisfying within 30 pages or so. So that's what I would say about Vaughn. Vaughn is Vaughn just got made one of the Comicsgate Kings, and rightfully so. Vaughn deserves that title. I'm very happy that he got it. Yeah,
he hasn't been showing up to Comicsgate Kings on Mondays though, even though he became a king about a month ago.
It might have something to do. It might have something to do with the fact that they've got like a full house.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, he's the low man on the totem pole. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
You're not going to kick out Paul Ravoche for him.
No.
Even though Paul just came in Graham Nolan. Like, you're not going to kick out those guys for him just because they've been there longer. They've been in the right. Look, see, now we're talking about like, God damn, would I love to have Aaron Lopresti on this show. I don't think this show's a good fit for Aaron though, because we use a lot of language and we talk a bunch of shit. But like,
well, we can talk religion.
We could,
talk-
and I would love
yeah.
like Aaron Lopresti is. I would say Aaron's my favorite Comicsgate
Oh yeah.
creator. I would say that. I think that Aaron. First of all, he's beholden to the classics, and that just there's a wholesomeness in my heart that loves that to no end, and I'll never only certain people can do things like he does classically and pull it off, and it not be like a copying off of something else somebody else did. Aaron is true and through a classic comic book storyteller, and he's by far the best writer artist in Comicsgate. Of people who write and draw their own art, he's the best.
Yeah,
Hands
his
down.
art is very good.
Dude, and I don't know, have you read which ones have you read of his?
I still need to get Wraith of God. I wanted it, but I missed it. And I
Dude,
don't know if
both
it's in
1 and
demand,
2.
actually.
1 and 2 are amazing. I harassed him to put 1
I'll get my
back
hands-
on sale, and he did. So I have
You
a
should
look.
do a
I'll
stream where
sell
you just
you.
cover the thing. I want to see him. Like, just do a
Yeah,
stream. And
I
just,
should.
I ain't seen it, and like I don't. I mean, I would get him. Like his art has got like how like Bernie Wrightson's art and like Frank Frazetta's and like Kelly Jones and like Sam Keith would do that sometimes, like that weird like shadowy stuff where it's like Mike Mignola does it a little bit too, but his is all like boxes and bullshit.
Dude,
But,
Aaron
like,
is superb, and his
Right.
writing is sublime. There's no wasted words. There's no nothing. Like it's like Aaron's the most perfect Comicsgate creator I can imagine, and for all combinations of things. One, he doesn't get involved in any drama. He's very and we're getting involved in drama tonight, so like
well,
kind
more
of
you. They had the problem
You're
with Matt
not.
Barth than me.
Yeah, well, that's not.
I wouldn't say we're
more about
getting-
Eric July. We talk about Eric July. Like we're in the shits with Eric July, if you were.
Well, I wouldn't say we're getting involved because we're not getting involved in it.
That's true.
I think we're commentating on the drama,
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, and it is an ongoing legal case too. So I mean, that's the thing with like, isn't that's what they were all doing with fucking Riley's the new Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
he's gonna. If he can play this thing, he is going to. Like every day, Riley's gonna have like going to court, going to like check the mail to see if there's a new summons, opening the door to see if the SWAT team has returned.
Yeah.
The wellness,
he'll make a good bit of money off it if he's smart, if he knows how to do it right.
This is all what he's. I guarantee that. That's what I'm saying. Like you watch like
that picture
That's what
alone
he's
of him being arrested was worth $1,000. That's one of the best pictures ever. Like, and he knows it.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose. He was playing. This is what I'm saying, folks. He's a performer. Like he performs, and whether or not you like what he does as a person, he's just a performer. Like that's all that he is. And this guy performed a little bit, and Eric July fucking melted down. And that's the problem. The problem isn't Riley, who's a fucking troll performer. Like that's what he does. There's lots of people who do that. The problem was that a man who was supposed to be a certain thing in people's minds, at least in my mind, before I was disenchanted. What happened?
I was gonna say if you put that up there, that's his that's Riley's website there. I mean, we should.
Oh, hold on. I'm so far from being down at the bottom. This is Von Claus's web store, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and check that out. Von Claus, a goddamn legend. Pro tip: StreamYard, change your default YouTube to 480p. It has to be resized to that anyway when you stream it. Stream it, change your default. Uncapped Turtle, do you have a Twitter? And if you do have a Twitter, can you please go to PQ Comics, COMIX, because I'm edgy like that. Follow me, I'll follow you back, and then DM me because I'm particularly stupid when it comes to internet things, and I need like step-by-step help. We hardly saw the red dot on his chest. Gotta go, guys. Good show. Have a good night. Thank you, Chuck. Dude, Chuck, you're a goddamn legend. We'll see you soon. Peace, Chuck, says Mr. Self-Destruct. Carbon Heart probably didn't say it out loud, but he says it here. Have a good night. You should have said it out loud, Carbon. I mean, I don't know why you didn't say it out loud. I'm just saying it's
You're probably in the middle of something.
He might have wrote that earlier in the night before he left.
No, I'm just reading this now. It's all just happening right now.
I was telling him to leave, actually.
The story at the end is pretty funny. God, I got to read these faster. Monster MD is huge. How big is it? 90 pages? Monster MD and Terror are add-ons. Oh, okay, cool. So then go get them, folks. Go get Katara Witch Hunter and get those too. And he signs books on the inside. That's good. That's good. If you're going to sign a book, don't fucking sign it on the outside. I don't want that on my cover. Kings is so full. Yes, it is. Favorite creative, it is. It is. That's, yeah.
It is.
What it is that Aaron Lepresti, or as he's known, Lopez, regardless of the fact that it is that Aaron Lepresti is one of my favorite artists, it is. I can't make fun of Eric when I've been drinking. When I'm sober, dude, all the words, all of his fucking stupid ass hibbity jibbity words come up to me. I remember Wraith of God as the one with the little horse and the big guy with the huge pistols. No,
huge what?
No, it's the one. It's the guy who's dressed in black, who's a fucking badass with yellow eyes, and he hunts down mythological evil demon creatures. Please,
He's talking about the cover.
I know.
He's talking about the cover by Simon Bisley.
Everybody shits on the horse size. Wraith of God is so good, dude. You have to check it out. Really, I'm not just saying that. Like Wraith of God, if you were to ask me any Comicsgate book, you have to throw them all in the trash except for a few of them. Like 5 of them. I would say both Wraith of God 1 and 2, Garbage Man, which is it's a third one that Aaron Lepresti did. Although I don't know if that counts as Comicsgate technically, because I'm not 100% sure he did that before he was Comicsgate. So maybe that doesn't count. Inglorious Rex 1. Inglorious Rex 2 was okay. And I have to think about the 5th one. But those are the ones
Cash
for
grab.
sure. No. I don't have that. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that in the top 5.
I gotta find it. I gotta buy it. Sign up for USPS informed delivery. Know when summons are being sent to you as they're being sent. Same name. Riley isn't the new Depp. He's the new Leo DiCaprio. Look at that mugshot.
See,
Same
now
name.
pull up the thing, and we'll
pull up what thing?
The present at the bottom.
God damn, 144 pages. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even see it. My bad.
Oh, yeah, he's sharing a screen.
Yeah.
He's like a cross between Leo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill.
Do you think he did that on purpose? The Leo DiCaprio look?
He
probably did, knowing him.
He needs some ointment for that damn eye.
He's got a whole web store. Get the free Riley.
Or has he got? Isn't that what they said? He's got like an eye that's closed shut permanently.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Well, Ethan said that when he met Riley, according to Ethan, Riley said that he has an issue with his tear duct as a result of being in a fight. Now, I don't know if it's that or if it's just pink eye.
That's fucking not likely.
But he needs to do something about it. That's for sure.
I mean, how many times I've been punched in the eye so many times. I don't have this issue. What?
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Yeah, that doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
Let's get some antibiotics, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a demonic visage. I mean,
no, it looks funny. It looks like he's putting on a, he's putting on a. It actually does look like the Leonardo DiCaprio. It looks like he's doing the Leonardo DiCaprio there. Honestly.
Now, I'll be honest. His hair is nicer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone probably thought that.
It's actually kind of
Well,
luscious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good quality hair underneath that that
Not his
bandana
beard.
he's always wearing.
His beard, he's got a fat man beard there, but
Which I mean,
being harsh towards fat men. My bad.
If he cleaned himself up,
there's a fat boy in the parking lot with a bag of comics.
He's stalking. He's stalking me.
There's a fat boy. Look, he's got a bag of comics out there. Oh no.
Mr. Self-Destruct says 144 pages, Monster MD, I think. Golly, G. Willikers. 144? There's no way. There's no way. Whoa, that was the Bisley cover? Apparently. Same name. You asked if I had X. Thank you, Uncapped Turtle. Noted. I will friend you on X as soon as I'm sober enough to type your name into the search bar. I'm just kidding. I'll type it in when I get off
up
the stream.
with Riley.
No, his eye is crusted over. Damaged tear duct? Why? Or pink eye from eating mince ass.
Well, that's what everyone thinks. That's what everyone thinks is
Oh
the
my
cause.
god, that's so funny. Invert the colors, Dr. Ben. From eating her ass.
How do I invert the? Can I do that?
Oh my god,
somehow?
that's so funny.
Is there a way to invert the colors? I don't know. That sounds dangerous.
Pink
Maybe
eye from
racist.
eating mince ass. That's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Oh, fat boy handing out comics in the parking lot. He's stalking. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see that guy out there?
Oh shit. What happened, Doctor?
Smooth.
Yeah.
Real smooth, Ben.
Look at that.
Was that your
horrible.
microphone there?
Fell off.
I thought you spilled something. At least you didn't spill something.
Yeah, nothing spilled. It
I was kind
landed
of hoping you
right.
spilled something.
I know it was like my ink thing is like right under here too, and like a jar of water. I mean, I've got it at like, admittedly, like a bad angle for my microphone, but
Y'all need one of them arms like I've got. You see this shit? I'm gonna show the
forgot.
people.
I've got a drawer that I could just do that.
See that? You see that? I've got like a whole thing.
Well, that's a full-on mic stand, right? That's coming from the floor.
No, I've got two full-on mic stands that come from the floor, but I found that for streaming, they're not very useful. Like they kind of get in the fucking way. And also
So
for
that's on
recording
your
music,
desk?
they get in the fucking way too. Yeah, hold on. Let me try if I can see if I can. You see that?
Oh, so it's on your. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And there's my unmade bed there. Thanks for fucking showing everybody on stream that my bed isn't made. Thanks, Carbon.
I couldn't tell that was your bed though.
Oh fuck. Well, then I gave it away.
Yeah, you ratted yourself out
I
there.
ratted myself out.
You even got party foul on the screen.
Party foul.
Sorry. It was, can I do it? Sometimes it happens, you know.
Real quick, chat. Can I just I get depressed every time because nobody ever says anything about this, and it's my favorite thing in the world. Anybody know who this is? Can anybody tell me who this is, please?
Venom Snake.
Hey! Thank you, Carbon. God damn, you made me so happy just then.
Yeah, I love Metal Gear Solid. I'm a huge MGS fan from day one.
We've never talked about this. What are you talking? You never know. You saw Venom back there the whole time, and you never said anything to me.
Well, that's how I knew you were okay when I saw that back there.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
But
enough.
yeah, no, I mean, hey, look, there's tons of things that we can get into eventually.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
eventually.
that's
Tonight's
that's
a
one
little
of
late
them.
to do all that, but I honestly, I was gonna talk about that, but we got on a good, like, you know how it always is. We get into a good conversation, a good flow. I don't want to interrupt it, so we just go and we just do what we're doing. But tomorrow or next weekend or whenever I stream next, do you want to talk about if you're available to come on stream? Do you want to talk about the new Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta stuff?
Delta, yeah, it looks amazing. Absolutely, yeah, man. I'd love to talk about Metal Gear.
Cool. That's why I love Metal Gear, dude. Mr. Self-Destruct says that bong went straight over. Clean your room. Stop. Look, it's clean. I fucking, it's clean other than the unmade bed. God damn it. Make your bed. God damn it. Fuck. Look what you did. You guys, you see what you did to me? A proper soldier can bounce a quarter on his bed. Shame.
Yeah, I could do that.
The problem is that they're not wrong. You know what I mean? I feel ashamed of myself. I feel ashamed. So at that, I think we're going to end it, folks. Thank you so much. Everybody coming out tonight. God, we had so many people. Let me try to make sure I mention everybody. We had Chuck Reardon. We had William Schaefer. We had Haldir. We had Uncapped Turtle. Mr. Self-Destruct, you know I'm going to mention you last because you're always here. And you're a legend. We have Big Chill Phil, who came in to talk about weed for a hot minute. Amazing. We had one other person, I feel like, but
Nicholas McHugh.
Nicholas McHugh, of course. How could I forget him? Nicholas McHugh, and then of course we have our mod and our chat fiend extraordinaire, Mr. Self-Destruct. He says, "Be great. Go fuck yourself." I hate that so much. I say that with love, Mr. Self-Destruct.
Did you mention
Grim Jim?
Did you mention Grim Jim 666?
Thank you.
And the squid earlier.
The squid. Perfect.
Yeah, Gaz stopped by too in the beginning.
Who?
Gaz. Gaz.
I didn't see that. Did I miss his chats? I'm sorry.
I think he only
so
chatted
sorry.
once. He only chatted once.
Well, Mr. Gaz, I'm sorry that I missed your chat. I try to say everything that everybody's said that's not already been said. So I'm sorry for that. But thank you everybody else who's come out. We've had consistently throughout the show about 7 to 9 viewers tonight. So we've got some lurkers in there, but thank you, lurkers. I appreciate it. Matt Barra, if you're one of the lurkers, I don't appreciate it. I don't like you very much, but everybody else, I really appreciate you.
Again,
this
is his thing with Matt. I like Matt. Here, look. You want to see? You want to see like my weird comic I did? This will help lighten the mood.
Slightly uncomfortable, Dr. Ben.
Here, this was. Do you want to read this, or do you want me to?
You know what? Why don't you? We'll see how you do.
Okay. Let me make sure.
How long is this? Because we're gonna end pretty soon. So how long is this? Is it quick or is it just this one thing?
This is like 300 issues, dude. No, it's
okay.
Like
it's
a 4-panel gag. It's like a
4-panel gag. All right. In light of this past week's shocking revelations, I find it necessary to reevaluate my professional associations.
Oh, Jesus.
To ensure they align with my values of respect and integrity. Therefore, I have ended my working relationship with Little Piscar. Wow. Savage. Fucking savage.
Piscar.
Mr. Self-Destruct. It is more.
Jugrim. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's. To be fair, Ethan did ask for this. He was like, we should cartoon this. And like, he read it out and everything. And I was like, well. And he said in the Calvin and Hobbes style. So
it is in the Calvin and Hobbes style. So good for you.
It's good.
I mean, it's incredibly dark. I mean, like definitely. Like I'm not like.
It's actually pretty succinct, I would say. And
that was the thing he wrote. I
for
just
this,
changed it.
For this style of art, succinctity. What's that word? It's
I just Yeah, I based it.
Yeah.
I just eyeballed this and just was like, changed it to a little.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
All I have to say is prayers up.
Oh my God. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the stream. All of you can go fuck yourselves. And I hope that tonight has been a good night. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy it, don't give it a like. If you did enjoy it, give it a like. Please subscribe. Share it with people. I might share it tomorrow, although I usually forget to do it the next day. So have a good night. But real quick before we go, I just want to say that